Hello, everybody. Are you guys ready to see me nerding around, just having fun? First of all, there is something that I really need to talk to you guys about. Yeah. So tomorrow I have shooting, image shooting, where I'm supposed to look professional. Well, how should I look then? You know, should I wear my hair up? Should I have neutral makeup? Should I have my go-to crazy colorful makeup? What do you guys think? That's super important. All right, the other super important things. By the way, the thing about I have these glasses and I have the other pair which I usually wear, so that you guys know what tips to give me. And here's the thing, I understand that when taking a photo, I don't need to see anything. The important part is that I'll be seen, not that I would see. But I don't know, it's hard for me to understand this concept where people can see me if I cannot see them. But whatever. Yeah, I am better. Thank you, Shauna. Yes, the voice, are you feeling better? Did you guess? Yes, I got some rest. I do feel better. Yeah, yesterday I was kind of dead. Okay, smash like, everyone. It's free. It is free, you guys. Please do. And the best way to support Rebecca is by super chat, super stickers, or signing to her Patreon, or buy me coffee or PayPal. Make your choice. Thank you so much, Investory. First, shalom, 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 Bookmouse. Hello, zdrastie и shalom, Pavel. Hi, Zohar. What's today's live stream about? Okay, so I've made this video the day after Israel, and I put a lot of jokes in it. So I kind of wanna nerd with you guys, be nerdy, and be like, hey, do you guys see my super funny joke? And I'm also gonna tell you a little bit more stuff that I didn't put in when I was editing it. I do it because, to be honest, this is something I did with my parents, and I felt by the way, tag mechetzelek, hey. Yes, smash the like button, people. Hello, hello. Hair down, jumping jacks before you pose to get out nervous energy, and tip of tongue on the roof of your mouth. This is how you look like an idiot, though. No offense. I know this. It's a stupid model. But thank you. Rambling Ryan. Hello. Shalom, shalom. Tenebris. Hello. Yes, nerdy stuff. Hello, hello to England. All right. So, okay. So I did it with my parents. To be honest, I only got through some of it. I didn't even go all the way through. And I was thinking, wait, maybe I should do it with all of you guys as well, because it was fun. And I also got comments that were people appreciating some my things that I've added, and I was thank you for appreciating and noticing. I'm gonna force you now all to also appreciate and notice my genius. Hey, Rambling Ryan. Hello. What do you think about doing collab with Traveling Israel? This is it doesn't look like he's doing collabs with anyone. To be honest, this is where I'm yeah, I guess maybe I should try contacting him. Okay, in real life, do you have more warm undertone or more cool undertone, or neutral? Neutral. In real life, I have neutral, and I'm orange. Olive skin toned, but orange. Yeah. Yeah, I'm Gladistan. Alright, you guys. Owen isn't big on collabs. Yeah, it seems like it. Like, it doesn't look like he's doing any collabs. Which I get. Like, I understand. He has his own niche type kind of situation. Alright, first of all, let's pop in and watch. Like, this is my favorite channel on YouTube, hands down. Like, this person, amazing. Her work, 10 out of 10. I mean, don't force me to watch all their content because I'll cringe, but in general, guys. Alright, let me see. Hello, Charlie, salut Dad. Yeah, Mansu, I'm talking to him, so we'll see when it's gonna be possible. Yeah, I like Owen too. Okay, for photo, wear blue, Mediterranean blue color. Yeah, I don't know if I have that. Yes, I know. Chef's kiss. And by the way, I had a segment like that in the video where I did it. Hola. Hello, Portugal. Okay, you guys, let's watch it. Together, let's be nerds. It's not even in the middle.
Or a scenario where Turkey and Russia
First of all, okay. First, we have to appreciate the music choice, right? Like, I think this is my favorite segment right here. When I'm talking about Europe's option with when it collabing with I'm gonna do it randomly. If you guys didn't watch it, like, you didn't do your own. I'm sorry. Hi, hello, hi Terms. We are ready for your wisdom. It's not that much of a wisdom as much as it is me getting excited watching myself. Which is, to be honest, like, this is a cultural difference that I've noticed. Like, because I got to experience the world a little bit. And I noticed that the difference between my friends here, like, and in the United States, right? So in the United States, it would be like, oh my God, I gained so much weight, OMG. And you're like, no, you look so skinny. And you're like, and here, like my friends, I don't know at what situation I just switched between countries. And I look at my friend was looking in the mirror and she was like, wow, I'm so pretty. And I'm like, huh. Right. And then after that, like, I noticed, like, every person I know, like, they talk about themselves. So, like, my girlfriends would say, I'm so pretty, like, I'm so beautiful. I'm like the prettiest woman ever. And they all are, obviously, but, like, that's a cultural difference there, right there. Joshua, thank you so much. Nothing says professional like blackface. Where is the blackface here, though? Blackface. Talking about blackface, I asked the Grok, the AI thing on Twitter to generate a photo of me as a soldier. Apparently, they can, like, it takes into account your profile picture now, and it would like especially with. Okay, it had a tendency to switch my race to being black for some reason. But when I asked to be a soldier, no matter how much, like, I'd refresh or, like, exit and come back, like, every time, like, a black woman that is wearing the colors I'm wearing in the profile picture and stuff. Like, by the way, are my earrings, are they bothering you? Those dangling things? I was like, are soldiers black? Like, she never, like, no matter how much I try to get myself with a soldier uniform from them, like, I never got the uniform, but I got a race reassignment, so I don't know. Take notes. Who is that lady? Never seen her before. Yeah, me neither. I've never seen her, like, face to face, like in real life, without using tools. You know? You understand what I'm saying? Alright. I like my yarns. Donna Tearing, how very seasonal. Yes, indeed. Shauna is saying, yes, northern cultures, especially Christian cultures, have hard time complimenting themselves. I think it's Jewish versus Christian understanding of humility. You mean like humility versus lack thereof? All right. Okay. So my earrings keep you entertained when I'm not talking. Amazing. Good to know. All right, guys. I have another question. Does anyone want to join in? Because I can like send a Discord. Like yesterday, I tried to do that like spontaneously, and people didn't hop in that much. But if you guys want to talk, like give me tips about my look tomorrow and comment with me about the things I'm doing here, then let me know. Maybe I'll just start a stage and like send it, and then if you want to join in, you can join in. If you don't want to, then don't. I kind of want to hear you guys today. It's not every day that I want to hear you. All right, most of the days, and I'm here being like, this is a very unofficial kind of stream, like me getting excited about myself, yeah, most days I don't really feel like hearing you guys, like, but today I want to hear you. I do. It's a special day. Appreciate it. All right, I'll do that. Start the stage. Blah blah blah. And I send it to you. I want but can't. I need to work. Okay, I see you are doing what I see that you are using your work time smart. You are being smart about it. Perfect. Na, 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 na. All right, I'll just invite you to the Discord if you guys want to talk to me. I don't promise to remember that I did that so that I would add you, but whatever. Will you talk about what is going on at Georgia? I think Georgians are stupid. I should know, like from experience. I mean, they live in like, I don't know, like, to me this whole thing is like the EU is not going to be there when Turkey invades or Russia invades or whatever dictator around them loses their mind. And I don't want to like, and Erdogan is also Georgian himself, so like who would go defend them? All right, who would? Like the EU wouldn't do it. And if they had the kind of composition, like this mindset of going and defending themselves, then they would strive to be independent, not part of a slow union that forces you to take migrants from Afghanistan and Muslims, so on. So. All right, I sent you the link. All right. Let's see. Okay, so first let's start with my favorite part, of course. My favorite part is this amazing use of music, and talking about the collaboration, the potential collaboration between Iran and Europe.
Bad idea.
I don't know why the sound is weird though. Rebecca reacts to Rebecca. Yes. Rebecca is being nerdy. Joshua Sewak, I saw my fat dumb face and heard my voice. I'm not doing that again. I can relate, man. I can relate. Just tell yourself that in reality, like you're 50% prettier, and that's you know that works. Okay. Okay. First thing I want to appreciate is the music, the amazing time of this music that I inserted here.
In theory, Europe can also decide to side with Iran, since Iran has all those militias all over the place, but this cooperation between Shiites and Sunnis that we sometimes see in the Middle East is a marriage of convenience. It's not true love. And
By the way, I made it 2 days later. Shit hits the fan and everything. Like, and now I'm regretting. There was a part that I removed because I was like, okay, this is already 30 minutes. And I'm gonna confuse people way too much about what's going on in the Middle East. But there was also a section where I described, like, the war between Russia and Turkey, and that I think that Turkey would win. Like, because of their positioning and stuff, like, not going north of Turkey, let's say, not if they fight over Georgia, but like if they fight south of Turkey. I had that segment. I was like, you know what, like, too much information. Like, and it's not only that I'm spitting facts, and like in this video I'm spitting facts like super fast and adding like all those jokes like here. This is a Lacy, the dead dog butcher of Tehran, and Macron, the soon-to-be ex-president of France. This image is amazing, like this image with music. Anyway, they were being stupid. So I talked about the Shia and Sunni fighting within themselves. So now I'm like thinking, like, I had this beautiful segment about Turkey and Russia that I removed because it was like too much information, and then 2 days later shit hits the fan. Oh well.
And it's not gonna last. Those grievances are gonna get back into full scale once the option is there. I don't think that's a winning strategy, considering the fact that still the largest sect of Islam is Sunnah, not Shia. And in Sunni Islam, being a Shiite is actually a way to curse a person's sect of Islam is.
By the way, here is the background information. The Sunni Muslim Shia Muslim population here is lacking because there are more Muslim countries than that. But
strategy, considering the fact that still the largest sect of Islam is.
First of all, obviously the war in Yemen. That's the Houthis are. The Houthis, I think, once they call themselves Houthis, they started a new religion because they follow a man called, that's his name, Houthi. That's the actual his name. But like. Oh, you guys are making jokes without me. Like, seeing your phone. Oh wait. Oh, you guys are somebody in Discord? No, nobody. Just people on the audience. Okay, nobody's joining. All right. So I want to say that the person who noticed that I brought up the fact that in Pakistan, for example, the Shiites are a minority and they are being persecuted. And I want to say, like, even though it was like a fleeting moment, somebody noticed. I think it's in the comments, actually. It's like one of the most. Who is this? Being nitpicky. No, somebody here that answered. Like, I like it. It excited me. Like, it was a fleeting moment where I talked about Pakistan. And somebody was like, "You're talking about Pakistan." Ooh, no. I was like, oh man, some countries deserve more attention. They need that attention. I mean, they're committing grave crimes. But nobody, everybody talks about how Pakistanis persecute Hindus and how Pakistanis persecute women and how Pakistanis persecute Christians. But nobody talks about how they persecute Shiites. Indeed. It's a niche. I guess it is a niche. I mean, I don't know. I don't think like. I don't know if I can find it right now. Anyway, somebody commented on that, and I was like, exciting.
Sunnah, not Shia, and in Sunni Islam, being a Shiite is actually a way to curse a person. So yeah, those grievances are alive and well as.
By the way, notice this beautiful conversation on the screen, where China and is trying to show the power of their soft power and do the impossible, which I don't know. I think China, maybe they're not traumatized enough from the Middle East yet. They're like, you know what? We can do it. No, you can't. You can't. But I think their approach would be different. They even mess up in South America. Like they try to have an alternative to the Panama Canal, and they also have this port in Peru, which, to be honest, I was in Peru, in Lima, and when I was visiting there, I was like, I heard about this project that China is leading with having this port, and I also talk about it in some video that I never published, or I'm gonna publish at some point, but I'm talking about empires there. It will happen. One day it's gonna be out. But it's funny, like how to see like how my privileged life traveling the world, visiting Peru and stuff, like seeing the Chinese port plans and stuff, and now it's complete. Very beautiful. And now I do geopolitics, so what a wonderful world. So here's my beautiful joke. Say it wasn't that hard. I mean, and it's like, I'm washing my hands 10 times tonight. And I was like, I'm too lazy to have like thought bubbles. So I did a speaking bubble. So I had to address, like, you see, this is how nerdy I am. I when I did that, I was like, oh, it's a speaking bubble. That means the Saudi guy heard him. So now I have to react to that, you fool. Use thought bubble, I can hear you. You can't also can't wait for the Jews to get you. By the way, if I had like a China, Iran, Turkey photo, that would be more fun. Since like the Turks literally were waiting by the border to see when the Shiites, the Hezbollah proxy of Iran, is gonna get weaker, and like the moment they were they were preparing for that, and then the Sunnis like took over. And I don't know if you guys saw videos from there. Like they're brutal, man. They're brutal. By the way, when Israel entered Lebanon in 1982, I think, the Shiites who were oppressed by the Sunnis, like they greeted the soldiers, the Israeli soldiers, with like flowers and rice, like celebrating them coming and saving them from the Sunnis. Yeah. China has long been supporter of Palestine. China is a supporter of anti-America. Like saying that they support Palestine is like it's an exaggeration, to say the least. They're just against the United States. That's what they're against. It's like this is why I added that very, very, very sophisticated shh now, my sweet Uyghurs at the bottom. I'm so sophisticated. Anyway. Alright, I have to go back a little bit so we can appreciate the amazing music choices that I've made. Yes. You guys, I told you, I'm gonna be nerdy about it, like, and get excited, and like, this is for me.
Bad idea. In theory, Europe can also decide to side with Iran, since Iran has all those militias all over the place, but this cooperation between Shiites and Sunnis that we sometimes see in the Middle East is a marriage of convenience. It's not true love. and it's not gonna last. Those grievances are gonna get back into full scale once the option is there. I don't think that's a winning strategy, considering the fact that still the largest sect of Islam is Sunnah, not Shia, and in Sunni Islam, being a Shiite is actually a way to curse a person. So yeah, those grievances are alive and well as the obvious fact that Iran is situated in a much less favorable geopolitical location to cooperate with Europe. Either way, stupid decision that Europe will probably make while trying to avoid getting into the Middle Eastern mud. Something that...
Yeah, and this is another thing, like, I put really fast. Like, let me move myself for a second. Like, in the background, you see, like, women being shoved into vans, arrested in Iran, you know, for not being modest.
to cooperate with Europe.
Oh, the things that make me happy. Oh, and also see China being China on it, like, you're like trying to negotiate, like, make Pakistan and Iran friends, and like, you guys both have great resources, don't disrupt my order shipment. Yes, very important.
To cooperate with Europe. Either way, stupid decision that Europe will probably make while trying to avoid getting...
Women are being, like, here, like, women are being shoved into the van by like modesty police in Iran to get raped in prison. Yeah, actually, that's probably what's gonna happen there. Yeah, so, like, I don't know, I feel like this love affair that Macron has with a butcher that killed 30,000 people himself, you know. I want to put things in perspective.
Into the Middle Eastern mud, something that, guess what,
is
unavoidable when there
and
is
that's also my favorite thing, is, like, you know, like, it's the same with the USSR kind of thing. Is like they you know, here's the thing. Okay, I have a story about the USSR, the Communist Party. Okay, so the foundational, like, the forefathers of this idiotic idea, like Lenin and stuff, they were violent assholes, but they sold the idea that communism is about peace and love. And what's funny is the next generations really genuinely believed in it. Like the first generation, like the first, second generations, like they knew it's a farce, right? And it's something that they say just to look good, but in reality they don't believe in peace and love at all. But the next generations that were taught, right, about the indoctrination they got was the indoctrination of this facade, meaning they truly believed that, like, that what they're striving for is peace and love. So they were like, yes, we want peace, and like that's like the policy began to change accordingly, like, because people thought that this is really what they're looking for, and not that it's just something that they say to, you know, because they thought that this is the best way to go around it. sorry. Anyway, so yeah, I added this beautiful, oh, I'm a hero, yes, the bookster is going to fall for it. It's like, this is the USSR strategy, like talking about peace and how much they care about minorities and how much they care, and people fell for it, you know. And to be honest, like, sometimes even the communists themselves would get confused and would do the right thing, because, like, they sold this perception, but not everybody in the party was smart enough to understand that this is something they do just to get, like, clout, and not because they actually believe in it. But some were like, oh, this is what we believe in, okay. And it's like, what are you doing? You're going against our actual policy. I'm like, what do you mean? We want to support minorities and independence of the small countries, right? Like Israel, for example. they were confused for about 2 years until they were like, man, this is something we say, not something we do. Like, oops. And then they had to fix it and sell weapons, destructive weapons to Egypt, of course, but you know. It's like, insane. Sean, there were some Iran-Pakistan cross-border takes earlier this year, yeah. Also, Balochistan. Balochistan is split between Pakistan and Iran. I'm sorry if my voice gets weird. I guess I'm still sick, so I feel like my throat is not cooperating. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to getting excited from this music.
Something that, guess what, is unavoidable when there is no alternative to the ideology called Islam. Not really. Unless you actually take advantage of the fact that there are groups in the Middle East that one of them just went extinct, but for example, the Iranians seem to be pretty promising in their kind of prospect for a better future if only there was an actual support for regime change there. But you know, who am I to judge? You want Israel to disappear. Nobody talks about Iran regime change as much as they do about making Israel disappear. So it's what you wish for. So who am I to judge?
Like I got in touch with my inner Polish mother. Like, you know. Like, it's what you want, it's what you ask for, who am I to judge? Mm-hmm. Yeah. La, 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 la. Oh my god, I need to get that. People are saying, where is this? You made this most amazing comment. Come on, I can do it. Rebecca, you can do it. Find it. Come on. Where is it? Ah, here. Because the people are retarded. Or, oh no. No, because people are... I need to practice. I don't remember exactly. I need to find this clip and add it to my repertoire. And they're everywhere. Like, the people are retarded. And they like, this is exactly that. You're right. People are retarded. Okay. Is there anything here I want to comment on in that segment? Oh my god. My throat. But then if I drink, I'm gonna be like... This was unattractive, like a lipstick mark. But the people are retarded. Yay! Super creep. Yeah. It's good that Rebecca is playing her jokes because I didn't get them at first. Yes. Thank you. I mean, when I explain when I tell my jokes to my mom is like, yeah, I have a special child. Especially because my humor is very dark and she doesn't like how dark it is. They're like, why does it make you laugh? You're supposed to cry. I'm like, no, I don't know, it's funny. They're like, why do you think that's funny? Anyway. Okay. Let's go back a little bit. Go back to let's appreciate this moment of Europe spending money on Egypt. Just I love this animation.
Resources. So they might be able to ring.
By the way, listen. This is actual things that happening in Egypt. Like this is what there's like those parades. They have no money. No money. Zero money. Like all those like articles I showed here show that the economical situation of Egypt and how people are just throwing money at them and they spend it on that. Like, no offense, but at war, like this area, the Middle East, is not so stable right now. I don't know what the touristic situation right now in Egypt is. I don't know. I have a feeling that even though it's supposedly us who are at war and it's out of their it's not in Egypt. I have a feeling even so, maybe less tourists than usual would come. And also like no like oh, and this is like they opened a new super grandiose museum for the record. They already have enough. Like you have a pyramid outside. You don't need to spend money on museums. Like the pyramid of Giza is a good enough reason. Like nobody's gonna come, especially because there is a museum now that is super fancy. Like I don't get it. And yeah, and there is no shipment in the Suez Canal. I don't like this is what they spend money on. That and depressing their own population, obviously. But anyway, the moment I need us all to appreciate is the amazing usage of a free to use clip I found on the internet to illustrate the way people waste money, like spend money on Egypt.
More money out of Europe, even more than what they do now. This is a form of corruption for those who are confused. But I'm sure the students chanting Free, Free Palestine will once again show their generosity and help Egypt contain itself. And that way, the region will be stable again.
I like also, here's a little bit of a jab that I don't know if like people who understand the concept of tikkun olam, like the way it's used in Reform Judaism, it's kind of this kind of bullshit. Like they would be like, yeah, let's help Egypt, like those idiots. Anyway, that's why I added that sticker. I was like throwing shade at Reform Jews. I don't think anybody understands that shade throwing, but this is why we are having this conversation. So you guys can know that I was throwing shade at other Jews. Yeah. There is nobody that is safe from my shade throwing. Everybody is a target. Anyway, look at that beautiful like bukkake situation on Egypt. This is literally what's happening. Nobody talks about it though. Yeah.
That way, the region will be stable again. The Egyptian economy relies on trade.
Oh, by the way, I added so much information, like historical information. This is Muhammad Ali, and he actually led a campaign against the Ottoman Empire several times. So, in like the scenario of the Egyptians going to war against the Turks is not unlikely. The more likely scenario is that the Turks are gonna manage to depress the Arabs. Okay, I realized like if I continue this train of thought, I would have nothing nice to say. But like in the most genuinely offensive and kind of racist way. Maybe I shouldn't. Yeah. Anyway. What another great moment that I felt like I need to share with you. By the way, did you guys, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like, to throw extra shade, I need to switch my location again. Like I had army ranking of all those armies in the area, just for fun. You see how nerdy I am? Like, do you appreciate like the small things? What? Like, I want to throw shade. Mike, Reformed Jews are the devil. I went to a Reformed Sedel. They were all anti-Trump and pro-BLM. Rashida Talib Bilanomar. Yeah, they're. This is the synagogue of Satan. For sure. Joshua Siwak, if you have nothing nice to say it loud and in public. Well, I was about to say that the Arabs are they're slaves. Like they have a slave mentality. So it's really easy to control them. And they're gonna do like really badly versus the Turks. The Turks are closer to, I don't know, they're more sophisticated. Not much. Evil. A bit more sophisticated than the Arabs, though. That's what the nice thing I had to say. Thank you for your support. If you guys want to support me to say not nice things, then feel free to send me super chats and buy me coffees and stuff like that. All right. It's not okay. Other nerd. Okay. Let's go back a little bit. Oh, by the way, I on this. This is also something, and really quickly. This is something I had to stop for my parents to understand, like to explain to them. Now I kind of wonder because I was like, I feel like this, like the next slide photo, after Mia Palestine. No, that's not it. That's Minahir al-Bahr Palestine ستتحرر. No, that's not the right one. Here, after Mia Palestine Islamia. And there is more. Shauna, thank you. The Weinstein brothers are a form, or at least Eric's. They are not so bad. Then they're just confused. Listen, here's the thing with reform synagogues, okay? It's reform, so every person decides for themselves, and some of them are like, they don't go as far as Rashida Tlaib, okay? Some of them are just, hey, we believe in the Torah completely. We just don't believe in the restrictions that come with it, like we like bacon. Then, all right, then like philosophically, the thing is, it's like it makes more, like, to me it makes more sense that we're like, okay, I'm not supposed to do something, but I'll do it anyway, but at least I know I'm not supposed to do it, I'm not making excuses. I'm just like, I'm a sinner and I'm proud of it. That's it. And I'm proud of that. I'm just a sinner, just who I am. I'm not gonna pretend I'm not. Anyway, okay, so here's the question about the next slide is like, so my parents were like, okay, it goes so fast, how would people read it? And I was like, my hope is like this, like meme, I don't know how to say, like this photo is so popular that people would recognize right away that this is the hadith that calls for the killing of Jews. But tell me, am I right? Am I wrong?
Me. The other versions in Arabic, for some
like
reason, were not chosen to be the leading slogan in the West, but what they mean is, from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Or, from water to water, Palestine.
Here, did it like click that this is the quote, the hadith that says like Jews are gonna hide behind the trees and stones, and the stones and trees are gonna tell, hey, there is a Jew behind me? Or is it like not as famous as I think it is, and I need to tone down my references? Yes, no, okay, I'll let you answer. There is gonna be a delay. Oh, somebody asks to speak. Hello, okay, I'll invite you. Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
Good. Thank you, the Bronze Age Collapse, for your support, and I'm proud of it. Yeah.
Okay, I have 2 questions. One controversial, politically controversial, the other not politically controversial.
I like controversy.
Okay. So in the United States, we have a lot of Muslims but they're like African Americans, and they converted to like Islam, like Malcolm X and stuff.
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
kind of like
Malcolm X was
satisfied
like a
because
terrorist, wasn't he? I like.
yeah,
I'm Team Martin Luther King Jr.
yeah,
I'm on
he's
his
pretty cool.
team. I have a dream. hmm
Yeah,
I like this guy, even though the
so
FBI might have not shot him.
I mean, he was a communist, but anyway.
I mean, maybe.
Um, so a lot of them like switched to Islam, because they kind of viewed it like challenging the white establishment a little bit. So like,
Mm,
is
we're
that
we're talking about the religion whose prophet claimed that he's the whitest prophet to ever existed.
yeah? It just never made sense to me because like the
Mm.
slave trade kind of came from the Arab slave trade. So why are you following that religion? Is that like so like what do you think of like that kind of religion or that kind of like religious stuff? Is that like valid to you or
What do you mean?
um like is that the same Islam that's in the Middle East or is it like a different
Listen,
denomination?
I've made this video called The Greatness of Islam for a reason. There are two types of Muslims: the defiers and those who get it, but then they're evil. Islam is a cookbook for tyrants. Do what you want to do with it.
Alrighty. I guess to my less controversial question.
That was the
The
controversial
situation.
one? Oh,
Okay.
man,
I
you're
mean,
mild.
yeah. So with the situation in like Korea,
Mm.
with all the stuff happening,
Oh my, yeah.
um, so like the U.S. Army, as you know, has troops in Korea and stuff, and we're just kind of watching this, not battle, but this civil unrest between the military and the president and members of the parliament or like whatever they call it there. So do you think the U.S. should like get involved in that, or should we just kind of
No,
look from afar?
like, do I think the US should get?
No, because like I think the last time Korea had some issues was like way back in 1980,
Yeah,
but that wasn't. But like, what if North Korea tries to like do some stuff? You
I
know?
mean, don't you think like the South Koreans should be trusted to handle their own shit unless they?
I mean, yeah, they probably can, but I just thought there's a lot of like North Korean spies over there because it's like the same kind of culture and like language where they can kind of sneak in.
Oh man,
So like
you know how many spies you have in the United States? Like there are some that were caught spying for China, and the Biden administration and I think still has very members in very high positions in intelligence that are terrorists, like real ones. So should we
yeah,
go
I
and
guess. Yeah.
like meddle in American stuff? Like no, I trust the American people and I trust the South Koreans. Like you have to at some point you have to trust others, right? Unless it's like you have like draw a red line, but the red line is like those are like
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Just kind of just keep the troops there just to watch North Korea,
like
not worry about
I
North
also
Korea.
think like yeah, it's unhealthy to be honest. Kind of
Yeah,
unhealthy. It's like if it crosses a certain line where it's like okay, America feels like it threatens their interests, directly, then they should go at it full scale. But it's so expensive to micromanage other countries. So expensive. And America is losing a lot of money because of that. Like, one of the biggest problems with handling an empire is that it costs a lot of money. And the farther your agents are, the more easily corruptible they are. Like, it's more easy for them to get things under the table. And then it gets even more expensive. So it's really, really hard. And like, instead of like the world is like just the trust relationship that you can have with other countries is the best way you can save money. So unless it gets to a point where like it crosses like some red line where you say, hey, this is where that's like it's gonna start like I don't like an avalanche, right, or something.
Yeah, if it causes too many issues.
Yeah, but even so, like, like it's not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like it's like no matter how great you are, you probably cannot handle everything.
Yeah, I think Biden. I don't think he.
Like, even think like how badly Germany did, like with this speech that Angela Merkel gave. Like, yes, we can handle it, and obviously they couldn't. Like, they can't, and that's way easier. Like Israel accepted 1 million refugees, right, in the 90s when the USSR collapsed. Million when the country was composed of 6 million people. Right, but Germany getting 1 million refugees, being 80 million people, is collapsing for a good reason, because it's not the same kind of population. So no, you cannot handle it. If the people are crazy, then there is nothing you could do. They're crazy, no matter how great of a country you are. So
yeah. So I think the German thing, like if you're talking about like the 1940s or something, with the refugees from like East Germany or from, because like isn't that the same population?
Where?
I don't know. Like when you said like Germany had to accept like refugees, I'm assuming you're talking about.
I'm Syrians. No, the Ukrainians are awesome. What are you talking? The Ukrainians are hardworking people. They're awesome. Like, take as many Ukrainians as you want. Not the same. I mean, I like making fun of Ukrainians in Ukraine because I know these people, but I also know that like they're good people. Like, they're not like. It's not the same.
I didn't know there's a lot of like Ukrainian like refugees in Germany that makes some stuff.
I don't know. I just went to the Czech Republic and there were several that we talked with.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay then. I think that's it.
Right. Cool. You guys, if you wanna come chat with me, I'll drop the link again. Invite if you want to, guys. Here's this link. Okay.
Will be Arab, or from water to water, Palestine will be Muslim. On second thought,
Here's I wanna address something. What I said about Palestine will be Arab. Like, the official, like, what it takes to be Arab? You speak Arabic. Like, that's the actual definition of Arab. At least the definition I grew up with. It's like, who is an Arab? Those who speak Arabic. Like, that's an Arab. I was like,
also be the Jews agreeing to study Arabic. You are an Arab if you speak Arabic. My Arabic is not good enough for that, so maybe all those Jews who have Arabic ancestry or are Mizrahi can stay. I learned that I have some Arab genetics in my family recently, so.
Here, I added a super stupid joke here. I don't know if you saw. This is just me and my cousin. She did a DNA test and she was like, several, like she got 99% West Asian, and like some percent, I think less than 10% was Arab. But I was like, that counts for the joke. That counts, even if it's less than 10%, it counts. Like the other was other like West Asian, but like I think 8% was like Arab, specifically Arab. And and then of course I could not make this stupid joke of saying, oh, never mind, my parents tell me somebody left me at their door and fine, as if like we are probably not related because somebody just dropped me and then ran away. So.
20% of Israelis are Arabs.
Okay, I will something funny here. Oh, I love the sound effects I've made here. Like, what a beautiful day.
If it matters that much.
But have you seen how beautiful this day is today?
Now let's imagine a world where
Well, everybody's getting butchered. Oh, I'm so funny. The new Bronze Age collapse. Nation of Islam, aka Yaqub Delulu. Yeah. I actually don't know. Oh, there are 2 requests to speak. Okay, let them in. Hello.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Okay, I don't know. I've never used Discord before, so I don't know. But Rochester92 said he thought that my voice was higher than yours, so I figured I had to talk to you today so that he could evaluate,
Who said that?
Rochester92. Earlier.
Oh, that it says my voice is high and yours is higher.
Yes, well, he said that my voice was higher than yours. I don't know. It came up.
How did he know how you sound like?
He doesn't know what I sound like. Well, now he does. But he didn't know what I sounded like, but he said that he was imagining my voice was higher. Anyway.
So who's got the higher voice, people? Who's got the higher voice?
I don't know. I was telling him it's hard to tell what you sound like. You know what I mean? Like, you can hear your voice, but it's never...
Yeah, I think people are saying your voice is higher.
Yeah, and he's right.
But it sounds good. I like
your... I think American...
You sound like you like bells, you know?
Aw, that's so sweet.
Can you sing?
Anyway, I have no other... Can I sing? No. I mean, unless you want it to be...
Neither can I. Can you bake a pie? You know?
Can I what?
Can you bake a pie?
No,
neither can I.
Either. My mother, she knows how to bake pie and sing, and I don't know, it's just she didn't give me any skills to pass on.
How inconsiderate.
I was an outside kid. I was always like in the trees. So maybe that's why. I don't know, what were you like? Were you an outside kid or were you nerdy?
Me?
Yeah,
I was a child. I was in a superposition. I was like a wave function.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I was everywhere all the time. With different probabilities.
Yeah, I was.
There was actually like a park and in front, like this like across the street from where I grew up. Yeah. And it had like this weird kind of house or whatever, like some structure, and it had like veins growing, so it had an opening, so we would just like jump and catch the vein and like swing, and then we would imagine like this, like one part of the structure was like toilet and the other part of the structure was like kitchen.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't have anything that exciting. The Pacific Northwest just has like a lot of beaches, but it's also cold and rainy most of the year, and the beaches are all like rock. The water's pretty, but the beaches are all like rock. So I don't know.
By the way, like, who am I, like,
Yeah.
what is your nickname on in the chat?
Oh, Thorns of Rose. It's Shauna. It's Shauna.
Yeah, I thought
Thorns
you were Shauna. I thought you were Shauna. I just didn't want to assume.
No, that's smart. So, do you know what you're gonna wear tomorrow? Do you have anything figured out?
Oh my god. Okay, that's a very important conversation to have. I have no idea. You guys know what I look like. Like, you've seen all of my wardrobe, like in those videos. Like, unless you didn't watch them. And then, like, we have a completely different kind of conversation.
Yes. Well, okay. So, do you know? Okay. So, is it going to be a full body shot, or is it just your portrait?
I have
Or,
no
like, just your
idea.
upper-
I think my upper part, like my nobody wanna see, like, you know,
Okay.
like how many donuts I ate and stuff.
Yeah. Fair enough. It's just your upper part. I don't know. You could do. See, I really like it when you do the big, glittery eyes. But you also look really good with the red lipstick. I think both look good. So I don't know. That's my take though. Is the big glittery eyes.
Big
That's my
glittery
vote.
eyes. Okay. What video did I do that with?
I don't remember. I just remember seeing that it was like you had a bunch of different colors, and there was like a bunch of glitter, and I think green was a color. Maybe I'll find the video and
Let's
I'll post
torture.
it on
Yeah, let's
Discord.
torture the men who are here. I mean, there aren't many people now. Just 60 something. So I guess it's those who.
And then they love hearing about this. They come here for your makeup
Yeah,
case,
okay.
not your politics. That's why
You
they're
think so?
here. No.
I mean, just for the record, I'm a makeup artist. I mean, I did it as a
Yes,
hobby.
I know that.
How do you know? How would you know?
Because you did your videos. You said.
No,
you
I
loved
mean, like, I went to
guess you
makeup
didn't, like-
school.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought you were just good. Because some people are.
You know how I
do
started
makeup at all.
doing makeup? Like, true story.
How?
So I started engineering, computer engineering, in university in the Technion. Was hell, was so hard, and it was stressful. All right, so in order to like have myself relaxed enough to go to sleep, I'd watch makeup videos, like, you know, makeup tutorials. I didn't even own makeup back then. Like, I didn't even have makeup. I did zero. Like, I watched it for like 2 years without even trying to do my own makeup. I was like a tomboy, never did anything that like has to do with like beauty. Like, my mom would buy my clothes, you know, like I didn't care. But then, you know, I was like, after 2 years, I'm watching people do their makeup, and I'm like, maybe I should try. And then it's like, oh, this is fun. This is really fun. So I started playing with makeup. Got a good amount of makeup.
Excited.
And then at some point I was like, you know, because I everything I do, like, I was like, I can't stop unless I'm like, I have a diploma or something. So I went to makeup school. Yes, I'm a makeup artist.
Was it expensive to go to makeup school?
What?
Was it expensive to go to makeup school?
No, not that much. You know Natasha Danone? She's kind of famous
No.
also in she has her collection is in Sephora. Natasha Danone.
Oh, okay.
So she's Israeli. I mean, she's Croatian.
Oh.
Croatian, I think. She's married to an Israeli guy. So they live in Israel. So I went to her school. She's pretty famous, like, if you go to Sephora and stuff. Like, I'm thinking about, like, maybe I can show you something of hers. I have this blush, but for example. I don't know if you can, like,
her
it's
up
like, it's so
later.
dirty. It's embarrassing. Like, if I show you my stuff, it'll be like, oh, it's kind of smeared all over. So, anyway, it's kind of she's, so it's kind of exciting if you're like a makeup nerd and be like, oh, a famous person. So, I also met her, you know.
Was she nice?
Yeah, she is super nice. Really nice.
Oh, that's good.
Like, such a nice person.
Sometimes
Like,
sometimes
very
when you
good
meet
person.
famous people, you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and it's funny,
That's
like,
good.
she looks European. I mean, because I guess she is. But then her, like, husband looks like the most Mediterranean thing ever. It's funny. And he also talks like,
That is funny.
like, you know, like, he also talks like that. So it's funny too. It was funny.
So there's like a thick accent.
Mm.
That,
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? Like, yeah,
Like
I
I
don't
grew
know,
up in the
interesting.
hood a little bit.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Okay, so
Americans love to. Go ahead.
can you see my screen? Like, I'm sharing my screen.
Well, I'm on Discord because I'm on my phone.
Oh,
So-
but I'm sharing my screen on Discord as well, but I guess maybe it's too small.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see. I'm bad at Discord, so I don't know. It's buffering. So now I just see a little
All right.
circle.
So about tomorrow. So I opened like videos. I don't know if you remember like my look there. I'm trying to like figure out like which makeup look should I do, like for tomorrow. Obviously, this is the important thing that we're trying to talk about, obviously.
Yeah.
While torturing the others
it's
who are
most important.
online.
Well, it's okay. It's fine. The Hoosies will wait until we're done talking about makeup, okay?
I know, right? I can be a girl sometimes, right?
Yes. Hoosies, they'll wait. They'll be like, no, Rebecca's figuring out her outfits.
I know,
We'll just
right?
stop- Let's just stop murdering people until.
Maybe I should
until
do something
Rebecca's
like
figured
that.
it out.
It's kind of
Yeah.
small though. It's hard to see what I look so heavy. I'm not wearing makeup. Me was lazy. What look? Maybe this kind of look. I don't know. It's hard to see. It's too small, the photos.
I will take a picture of the one I mean and I'll put it on Discord later. Because I know it in my brain. I remember like the picture in my brain,
Woohoo.
but I can't remember what the topic was.
The topic is the look I shall have tomorrow as I'm taking photos.
No, I know, but the video that I'm thinking of when you did the
Okay.
glittery eye makeup,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. I don't remember the topic.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember I just have the picture in my brain. But, I don't know. Sometimes you don't wear makeup and sometimes you go very glammy. It's a surprise every time. We don't know which Rebecca we'll get.
I know, right?
We'll just see the live stream. You like to keep us on our toes.
And I keep myself on my toes. Oh.
And your parents, do they stay on their toes for you too? Probably. Can you hear me still? I think I got disconnected.
One sec. My editor is asking questions. I actually gave him the most boring video ever that I just did a voiceover to edit, to challenge him. And he's like, this video is boring. I was like, I know. Like it's
Wait, you don't edit your own videos?
I did. It's the first time, like it's like since yesterday. No, when was it? Since 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So so I was like, okay, I made this voiceover because I actually did it for my friend. I was like, I was like, I'll post, like, I don't know. I was like, so it's about the AfD, the Alternative for Germany party, and the way Israelis react to
Okay.
it. Um,
So what is the Alternative Germany Party? Because I only know a little bit about German politics because I'm not a German, and it's hard to say being on the right sometimes because there's always this why you're on the right. I think there's differences. So trying to evaluate international politics, I think it's harder as a conservative because it's not a universal. What are you trying to conserve is going to be different in each country. What is the English guy? I'm blanking on his name right now. He talks about this a lot. How like communism and like that kind of leftism, it's all like a universal. It's always the same thing. But with conservatism, it's a little idiosyncratic because it's just a different. What do you want to conserve, right? It's different for each nation or region or population, you know.
I think every, like, the left is also different depending on where you are. Like think about the identity politics that you like there is in the United States that the United States has. It wouldn't make sense in a homogeneous society, for example.
That's true, but on the international stage, I feel like maybe it's again, I'm in the heart of the empire, right? So as an American, sometimes it's just hard to evaluate. I try to be fair and like look at lots of different sources, but I haven't traveled much, so it's still going to be a filtered through not my own experience, but through what other people are telling me or what I'm watching. But if you look at the identity politics, but then you see this other identity politics happening in like Britain, where they're trying to make like ancient Bronze Age Britons look like people from West Africa. You know what I mean? Like Bronze Age Britons weren't as pasty as I am, but they did not look like West Africans. You know, like they do things like that. So I feel like some of our identity politics spills over.
Yeah, it does spill over.
To like over there, and it doesn't even make sense sometimes in ways, or they try to.
It doesn't make sense in the United States either.
No, but there's a historical.
Okay, but did you watch like Django, like Quentin Tarantino's movie?
No.
No?
I didn't. I've never seen. No, I don't watch many movies. I'm a bad. I just don't.
So okay, so there is this mention. I don't know how to say. Mention, like okay. You know, like a state. Like,
okay.
I don't know how to pronounce it. Like that, it wouldn't sound like mentioning. Nation. Yeah, like nation state, like a population state. No, a state, like a villa with a.
Oh, okay.
Like a planter, and he had like slaves there, like the white person, and they came and they went plantation.
Yeah. Okay.
I forgot. Okay.
No, you're okay.
Okay.
Plantation.
So
plantation.
So whenever like I see those like crazy leftist kind of black people, there was one black guy that apparently he was the one that was responsible to, like he was the house owner's right hand, and he was a very very evil right hand, very how to say, he liked torturing his fellow black men or women and keeping them slaves.
Yeah.
So like
sadistic, yeah.
So when I see like people that like black people who are like crazy leftists and stuff, this is who I imagine their ancestor is.
Oh, interesting. It's interesting too, the racial or like whatever you want to call it stuff in America. I was watching a video. She just says ancestry stuff, not genetics in a racial way, but just she's an American of mixed ancestry, and she just mostly talks about like family history and stuff like that. Anyway, she did a video talking about how there was this ad that she found from like the 1800s. It was escaped slave, and on the ad they said, "Okay, this is what she looks like. She looks like a white person, but she's still a slave." And in the ad, it literally said you would not be able to tell that she was not a white person.
Yeah.
So, and they were tracking them down, because once you get to a quarter of any ethnicity, really, you really don't know what's gonna kind of pop out, so to speak. Phenotypically, you don't know what somebody's gonna look like. So, it's interesting, the media, the way things have been portrayed in films and stuff, where it's always this one group of people who looks a certain way is always oppressing another group of people who looks a certain way. And it was much more, obviously more complicated than that on the ground. Mm. But it's still, the identity politics plays a role, though, because we have so much. There is this history, and most people don't have a detailed understanding of the history. Like, I didn't even know until a few years ago when I started learning more about it. And there's also, this is my opinion, there's also a problem America has. In 1960s, they changed civil rights law, but they also opened up the country to mass immigration in like the same, I don't know if it was the exact same year, but it was the same like few years of time. And then you open up immigration from other places in the world, like lots of different places. And now I think that's part of the problem America is having with identity politics, personally, because it's getting fused in with all of these different.
You know what I think about Americans' identity politics? Have you seen the nominee for the head of the FBI that Trump chose? Think Kash Patel.
Yeah, I just saw that he was.
Did you see how the DI department in the FBI reacted to his nomination?
No, I didn't see that. How did they react?
They threatened quitting because of the choice of a dark skinned man to be the to be the head of the DI, like the FBI, not the FBI.
I did see that, because Trump, I think he's like trolling them all, because he's really doing.
Like it's amazing, you know. So this is how real the DI thing is in America. This is like the real face of DI, okay? Like, let's stop pretending and cooperating with this bullshit. Like, I know, like this is an ideological persecution, has nothing to do with how you look like, and we don't have to cooperate with it. You know, like pretending.
No.
Okay, let me show you some great photos. Wait,
okay. Well, if I can.
1 second.
See them.
I wanna show there is this reference that I used. I was thinking what to use when like talking about the fate of the population that is about to disappear from the Middle East. You know, the Jews and the Druze and everybody who follow them. So I used the this dolphin image, where God knows where I put it. I know where I put it, but here. Oh, by the way, this is another thing. That's a genius thing. Okay, about it. Okay, so first I'm gonna show the dolphin, then I'm gonna go back to this.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Resources.
My screen is still on the circle. I can't even see your face right now. I don't know why, but my screen is saying it's a blue circle.
I'm seeing the circle.
Yes, that's on my screen on the Discord. All I'm seeing is blue circle on your side, and then my boots.
Weird. Guys,
Yeah,
what do
I
you
don't.
think about the Snow White? I mean, since it's buffering, I don't know
Okay,
what's buffering.
I have.
I mean, did you
Okay.
see this
I'm gonna
person,
hang up
whatever
after
her
this.
name? Like, I'm sorry, she's ugly, like really ugly.
She's okay. I
What's
mean,
her name? Come on, you know
do
her
you know
name.
a Ben I don't remember her name.
No,
I
come
just
on,
see
the
her face. But
Farquhar person. Not only that she's
I
ugly.
know.
No, I'm sorry.
But here's the
Every
thing.
time I look at her, it's like people are like, she's not that ugly. She's just. No, I'm sorry. Gal Gadot is kind of average. Okay, she's pretty. Like she's prettier than
Okay.
average, but not that much. That person, no, she's hideous. What's her name? Come on, you know her name. You know she also made fun of said that Trump Trump voters to
No,
unfollow her because she doesn't need their money. This idiot. Rachel Zegler,
Well,
somebody
yeah.
wrote. Oh my god, why is
Yes,
she
but
so ugly?
you know, the Ben Shapiro had the funniest joke about this, though. He said that the hardest thing, I can't remember how he phrased it, but he basically said,
Yeah, like
the
so you have to
biggest
suspend
fantasy.
belief so much that you're gonna believe that Gal Gadot is
Yeah.
jealous of Rachel Zegler.
Yes, yes, that's what he said. Because Gal Gadot is so, I mean,
She's really
she's
pretty.
beautiful.
Like no,
Yeah,
she's.
she's
I'm
very
sorry.
beautiful.
Somebody's saying like she's not ugly, but Gal is prettier. Gal is prettier. Like Gal is pretty. No, she's ugly. She's hideous. No, I'm sorry. Like I tried. The more I look at her, the more I think like she's ugly.
But the idea that she looks, I don't know, I don't like.
I like. I just
Okay,
bought because Gal
one of
Gadot
those
is
was
40,
called.
and that girl is like 20, so it makes her prettier. No, she's still uglier.
No, it doesn't. I don't know. I think a lot of men would still choose Gal Gadot at 40 than they would a 20-year-old. I think most men would, to be honest. All right, Coping wants to get in, so I'm gonna leave so that he can.
No,
So I
you
don't
can
just hog your
stay. I
chat.
don't care. Like, I don't know why
Are you gonna
it's
bring
not. I
Coping in?
want to show you the photo of the beautiful uh, um, uh, the Trump מדריך לטרמפיסט בגלקסיה. How do you say it in English? The hitchhiker guide to the galaxy or something like that, you know, where it has like
I see you now. I see
the
you.
40 if the 40 if the meaning of life the love for is 42, you know.
Yeah. Hitchhiker's Guide. I love that movie.
Yeah, so
It's
I,
like peak British humor.
so when I wanted to be like nice and not like show horror photos, because like at first I was like, you know, I put like photos of what's his name, how is it called,
I see, yes.
I like from the Nova Festival, like from October 7th, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I need this, like if you actually listen to this analysis, you'd realize that Middle East is shit and everybody's gonna kill everyone. So I need something that's nice instead. So I use this reference, beautiful reference.
We'll probably follow the Jews to wherever the
Here,
Jews
see, so long, and thanks for all
Yeah.
the fish. Right? Who are the smartest? Right? So dolphins are the second smartest on Earth. Humans are third. So
Yeah.
who was the smartest? Who was number one? The rats? I don't know. Like, who was it?
No, I don't remember who the smartest was.
Anyway, I don't know if people
Yeah, the
like.
dolphins were the
Did you get the reference to the? Did you watch it before?
No, watch your video. I haven't watched it yet because I have to
Shauna.
save it. I have to save your more. I have to save it for a weekend. where I can
Shana,
post it.
I'm gonna. It's time for shaming. Lots of shaming.
Okay.
Like,
Shame. Okay.
I'm sorry. You know how much sweat and tears and sweat and tears and more tears and more tears and some blood I spent editing that.
No, I believe you, but that's why I'm waiting so I can.
And I was
focus on
like,
it.
and you guys, I need you to share it. Like, I'm sorry. I worked so hard on it, and all I want is for you,
Okay, I can do that.
my loyal followers who love me
Yeah.
enough to watch me through, like, and stay with me while I'm talking about makeup, even though Sean, to share it
Yes,
and watch
no,
it.
okay, I will share.
And I don't
I
like,
will
to be
share.
honest, like, you don't even
Okay, I
have to
will
watch
watch-
it. You can
I
play
will
it on
watch
repeat
it.
on your TV and just like it, and then, you know, to help the algorithm.
Okay, I will watch it. I will watch it tonight, and then I will put it on repeat while I'm at work and I can't have my headphones in. I will just put it on repeat.
You see, and now I don't
That will
know.
be my repentance.
And now I know that, like,
Well,
if I don't know if and now I cannot test you whether you understood the reference to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, like, ahead of time, or you needed my explanation about the dolphins.
well, I know about the dolphins. I don't know if I would have caught it though. I probably would have forgotten, to be honest, because it's been a long time since I've watched that movie. Like I said, I'm a bad movie watcher. I'm a bad movie watcher. I watch YouTube politics too much, and I watch History Channel stuff, and I don't watch enough fiction. I don't know. That's I'm just
See,
a history nerd.
this is
and-
why I do this nerdy. But since nobody is watching, like, seriously, I can tell you right now, okay? So today, maybe 5 people watch this. 9 people watch this analysis that I literally, like, spat blood creating, because you guys are not sharing it. Because I guess you don't like me that much. I don't know. Anyway. Or
See,
you
you
don't
are
even
so
watch it.
good. You are so good at the guilt already. You are
I
so
mean,
good.
I don't care. You know what? If I have to guilt trip you, I'll guilt trip you. You know what? This is showbiz, mama. You know, you do whatever you have to do. And there are things that, like, you know, I don't want to do, but, like, I will go towards places I don't want to go to, like, guilt tripping you guys.
No, it's okay. I support your guilt trip. I will repent. I will repent. Okay?
Okay.
I will
I want to share
take
another
my guilt.
great. Okay, first of all, okay, so here's another great joke that I made when I was talking about the water systems that Israel use. And by the way, Israel is #1 in the world in water recycling. So I talked about,
Oh, I
like,
didn't know that.
I
I knew you guys invented irrigation. Well, or at least like the modern way we do it.
yeah, so I wanted to share,
You
like,
guys-
this little segment of a joke just because
reuse
it popped.
technologies and so on. And it does require
Here, not for dummies. Amazing, right?
Why did you paused again? This is so annoying. It keeps doing it.
Not for dummies. Wait, how do I make it so that, okay, this is not for dummies. No, the other one. Not for. I'm a dummy now, but. Yes. Anyway, I'm just saying,
I
like,
don't think people.
the water.
No, people.
thing is
Okay,
like-
here's.
Okay, another
Me
joke.
too is people.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Another. Okay, this is not a joke, but it's what I think. Wait. No, I want a joke. So somebody noticed it, but I'm a smart person, so I wrote the joke only in Russian. And then some Ukrainian was
Okay.
like, I saw the joke and I appreciated it so much as a Ukrainian person who speaks Russian. And I was like, yeah, I know, somebody noticed the joke. And then I was like, looked at it and was like, oh, I only wrote it in Russian. I'm smart like that. Made this amazing. Wait, so I need to.
Languages do you speak or write? How many languages do you speak?
I speak
How many
none.
languages do you speak? None?
I
Okay.
think it's like for a second here. Okay, so here on Russia segment, I need to stop to show the joke and explain what I wrote there in Russian.
another local player that is local because of Syria is Russia.
Russia taking over those gas fields and in general this geographical area might be the thing that would allow it to completely cut off Europe from any energy resources that are not nukes or renewable energy.
Here's
Would
the joke.
Russia
Come on. How did I miss it? Come on.
that are not
By the way,
nukes or
like, just for the record, okay?
renewable energy.
Torturing Europe
Would
for
Russia
fun is a
enter
very
that
common
are
sport
not
in the Middle
nukes
East.
or renewable energy?
Like, you don't need a reason.
Would
Why
Russia
can't I
and
not stop
Turkey
on it?
fight-
Come on. I cannot stop on it. Okay, be silent, because I cannot listen to myself again. Listen.
Not nukes. or
Oh, it doesn't
renewable
work. Oh,
Energy.
thank
Okay.
goodness.
Would
No, the curse. It's a curse. I'm cursed. Come on, I can do it.
Why are you cursed?
Because I'm trying to stop on the joke, which is so fast. Not only it's only Russian, it's also so fast. I'm so impressed at this Ukrainian guy. So when Russia invaded Ukraine, the excuse they gave is that they need to denazify Ukraine. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I was like, all I did is right here is like time to denazify, denazificate Europe. That's what I wrote. Like время для денацификации Европы. It's like it's time to denazification of Europe. Yes.
Yes, all of Europe. It's Nazis. Russia needs to just come in
Exactly.
and
Yes.
help.
Yes.
They just need to.
The greatness
all
of
of
the
it.
jokes.
And America, probably China also needs to denazify. Just
No, China is being aggressive on by its own. Like, like with China, they can claim self-defense, to be honest.
China.
Did you get it? Like this video, like Free Europe? Actually crazy they
because
sent
you
it.
wanted to suffocate
Like it's in the
That's the truth.
beach. Things are gone.
So, from my side of it, because I don't speak Russian or Ukrainian or
I don't speak Ukrainian.
But I watched. There was a lot of debate. This was, of course, before October 7th. So there was a lot of debate on the right because there's like conservatives and then there's like libertarians and then there's kind of sometimes they're friends and sometimes they're not friends because they agree on many things.
Who's friends
with libertarians? So do you know what, like with conservatives, with like mainstream conservatives? And sometimes, because usually they agree on local or like national policy.
Mm-hmm.
They're both like they don't want people involved. But on the biggest difference is like the public stage and like whether or not America, like the libertarians just feel like the conservatives just want to be an empire, and the conservatives feel like, more like Douglas Murray, like America is already the empire, and if it retreats, it's going to create a power vacuum. And there's always them debating. And when until Ukraine got invaded, libertarians and conservatives were playing ball pretty well. They were like, yes, the COVID policies, blah, blah, blah. But then when Ukraine got invaded, that's when there started to be kind of fracturing between those two groups.
No, why would any one of those two groups would be interested in whatever is in Ukraine? Like, isn't it that Democrats are in Ukraine? They are neither one. They're neither, like, none of them are libertarians or conservative.
No, the people who are in Ukraine aren't, but there's a debate the debate was, it was more, I don't know, I'd have to go back and look at things that I was watching and remember everything, but it was more just like, UN policy and it was more about international, like, did America, it was more a debate on whether or not America caused the problems over there in the first place or not, and whether or not there's a debate between Constantine, from trigonometry, and then do you know
Constantine Kissing? Whether or not
Constantine. Well, he was whether or not like Ukraine should be like that part of Ukraine should be annexed, or whether or not
What did
Russia
he
has
say?
imperial
What did
motives.
Konstantin say? Because it's interesting. Because
Well,
I think he's Ukrainian, right?
he's yeah. I mean, he's like Jewish, and I think he has. I don't
Here's
know.
the
He
thing:
said,
is like he's Jewish, but like under Nazi criteria, like
Oh,
one
okay.
grandparent.
Well, oh, okay. Well,
So he's not
still
really
took a lot of
Jewish.
criticism.
Like that's the thing is like
Oh,
because of
okay.
his views, people are like he's Jewish, because like they have to explain why he's like a Zionist agent shield kind of person. Like, but like when you have only one grandparent who is Jewish, like a lot of times these people don't know anything about Judaism.
Okay. Well, anyway, he just says like he debated a guy called Dave Smith, who's a libertarian,
Who?
and his view was like, no, you don't understand. Dave Smith is the guy's name.
Okay.
Dave Smith,
Mm-hmm.
who is technically Jewish. You guys would say not so much because his wife is not Jewish and he
This
doesn't
one?
really have Jewish identity. What?
This guy? No.
I can't see your screen.
Oh.
Oh, it's just looping again. It keeps going. I don't know why it keeps doing that. But he's a
It says a
libertarian.
comedian.
He's probably the first person.
Oh yeah,
Yes, he's a comedian and a political commentator. Yep. Anyway, he debated on whether or not Russia is actually being imperial, and Constantine was like, "No, I know Russians. I know Russia. They are not going to stop at Ukraine. That's not what they do." And
I don't think it's true though.
Like, no.
I'm not sure it's true though. Like even now, like Russia is kind of evacuating itself from Syria.
Oh, interesting. So do you think that they're getting I don't know, because I don't know Russia. So
first of all, it's not Russia, it's Putin, because God knows what goes through this person's brain. It's very the power there is very concentrated. So as in like, and this dude, it depends on how much steroid stimulation it gets. So steroids get you paranoia. It gives you paranoia. So
yeah, that's true.
So I think he went through a certain medical, at least for some time. It looked like he had he was given or was injected with steroids, and that makes you paranoid. And so and because the power is so concentrated, and it's like, whatever Putin decides, that like it depends, like is he being injected right now or no. I wasn't following him that closely. He looks like he looks healthier just from like the side, from what he looked like when he was like, he looked like when, like compared to the period where I think he really looked like he was on steroids.
Okay.
So it's hard to tell. So that could, like, that's not wrong per se. But you can also say like the same when it comes to like why did Hunter Biden had assets in Ukraine? Like the thing is, like when speaking to Ukrainians that live there, the feeling was like, so the resources in Ukraine, and because it's a corrupt country, were being sold to the United States or sold to Russia. In the end of the day, it's like they're just slaves there because they're Slavs. Maybe they're used to it, but like they were either like slaves to that, to the Russian side or the American side. That's the real bottom line.
Yeah,
He's not wrong, but he's not wrong. So it's more complicated than that. Like, for example, even like when the Shah was in Iran, right? The Iranians brought it upon themselves because they were they were religious idiots. They brought it upon themselves, right? But with more support from the West, that could have been suppressed.
Yeah, and I don't know the
But,
West
but
too,
like
though,
the
is
West,
so
it didn't help when it come to Ukraine. That's for sure. I don't like. Did you? Russia had to feel that it had the ability to operate within Ukraine, and the moment that, like, when, for example, when Ukraine refused to allow Russia to keep its fleet in Crimea, then Russia went ahead and
yeah,
annexed Crimea. Like they were shocked
yeah,
that like Ukraine wouldn't like. First of all, like, yeah, like according to international law, who I'm sorry nobody gives an f about. Um, it's
yeah.
supposed to be Ukrainian territory, but in reality, this is something Russia fought a lot to, like, this territory. And just because Stalin one day was like, hey, let's give it to the Ukrainian vlast, like to the oblasts, like the Ukrainian people, whatever. Um, so now it's Ukrainian. Come on. It's
So
like,
the thing that's weird too that I don't understand about Eastern Europe specifically, like I know the history is complicated, but I'm just now like the last like 3 months been trying to understand it better. Um, is it seems to me like a lot of these countries aren't real countries, and what I mean by that is that the people themselves don't necessarily identify with each other,
like who?
like in the way. Well, like the Ukrainians, like so some of the people I've heard say
The
the
West
section, the
Ukraine are
provinces.
Ukrainians. The western part. The eastern part is, a lot of them are Russian.
Okay, yeah, that's what I understood. So that's kind of, there's the Russian divide, and even parts of like Western Europe. There's different sections of Western Europe. Like you were talking to the yummy Italian guy the other day. He was saying how there was like the place that never lost its like Austrian soul, and it seems like in Europe it's a lot like that, where it's very it's not.
The Ukrainians are not patriotic. Never, like, I don't know how they managed to. I mean, like one generation, that's amazing what they did, like with the Ukrainian, enforcing Ukrainian and building this national identity. The fact that any Ukrainian went to fight against the Russians is amazing. Like this is something that was not like this is like new. Like this is just the newest generation of Ukrainians that are like that, I think. Like that got indoctrinated to be like patriotic, but like like they're not really patriotic. They never were. And even like
Oh,
now, like a lot of them like would move toward the West if they were allowed to. And the thing is, like with net, not, and it's the same with Georgia now. Okay, it's like and it's even more clear with Georgia. Like the Georgians, like they have a fantasy, and the Ukrainians had a fantasy of being part of the Western world, but they aren't. Because if you want to be part of it, first lift yourself up, be worthy of it, and then you'd realize that the EU sucks and you'd never want to join this crappy system. The only reason they want to be part of it is that they would have a way out of their countries. This is how patriotic they are.
oh,
And
that's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting to think about. It's true to
so
think about having.
so the West is playing an evil game. It was like where they wanna like bring countries towards, like, because it's tempting. It was like, oh, you wanna be part of their club, but they're lying because they wouldn't be accepted to their club. And then when they get in
Yeah,
trouble because they would get, like, because of the local, community there, cannot accept it to be part of the opposition, they're like, oh no, but nobody's gonna come and defend them. Like nobody went, like there are no boats on the ground in Ukraine now fighting against Russia, like from Europe.
yeah.
Like whose job is that anyway? And the heck you care, like really, like same, like Russia is like a threat. See, they're so conservative, like they cannot manage their army properly. Like Europe is just fat and lazy. Just have conscription, like protect your borders properly, and then I don't promise things to countries that you cannot. Those are false, like those are honey traps, you know, like you tempt them, like they tempt Ukraine. It was tempting because think as a Ukrainian or a Georgian, right, who makes $500 a month, I was like, oh my god, they can get real salary, like in their and then obviously what they project outwards is like, yes, we want Ukraine to be great, but in their minds they're like, oh my god, I would have an opportunity to get out of here.
Yeah.
This is what I actually like
because...
thinking from, like the people are thinking. No, if you really cared, I'm sorry, make Georgia great on its own, make Ukraine great on its own, and then play around. And then not like and that's the thing with Georgia, right? Like I saw Viceguard like that they are supporting the what are you doing? Like Georgia, I'm sorry, that's my when I was in Georgia now, okay, when I went to visit, my it was incredible, okay? Like we went to my dad's house, which was left abandoned, by the way. And all the Georgians and like from the neighborhood and from my parents, my dad's school and my aunt's school gathered. We had like this amazing feast, and at some point, and it was something that repeated itself. So it also happened with my dad later told me when he met another friend that he's a millionaire now, by the way, like he's self-made millionaire in Georgia. And they're crying, and I said like, maybe if we've treated the Georgian Jews better, maybe you would have stayed, like, you know, with tears. And my dad was like, it like, because like when I'm saying tears, like I'm saying like crying tears. I was like, you were like, we were like, you were such, like the Jews were such good neighbors, like great people. Like Jewish schools were the best schools. And I mean, they went to the Jewish school because it was the best school, not because they were Jewish. And I was like, and then at some point, like my dad's friend was like, just like they were drinking, like just sat and like broke down crying. It's like, is it because of us? Like, if we treated the Jews better, if we knew to appreciate the Jews when you were here, would you have stayed? And my dad was like, listen, I love you, but it was not meant to be.
Yeah.
So when I talk about Georgia, I want to understand one thing. Like, I come from love. So I see where it's going, and I feel sorry for these delusional people. And most of them are delusional, who believe they can be part of the EU. And I see the West, like the Viceguard people, like, oh, like, look how brave they are, like resisting the pro-Russian regime. I'm sorry, it's not that the regime is pro-Russian. Okay? It's not that they're pro-Russian. They're pro-reality. They're pro-reality. And
interesting.
it's just the way it is, you know. It's like they're pro-reality. They are not gonna be part of Europe. They cannot be part of Europe. Not only that, it would be disastrous for Georgia, even if Russia was not there. Regardless, they're
because
trying to be. They're trying. Yes, because they would all flee because they're not patriotic. These people only talk, but they don't have the receipts to show it, you know? They don't run into fire.
It's interesting to hear because...
And it's disastrous. It's going to be the end of Georgia. And so if you love... And these people, if they really love it, like, I'm sorry, no, those people, they have private fantasies. But they don't see the full picture. And not only that, it's the real... Like, it's one thing if it was, you know what... So there isn't going to be Georgia, but at least the population would get to have the desired, like, whatever location they want to live at, right? It's not going to happen either. It's not going to happen either. So they're going to lose Georgia and lose the fantasies that people have because it's unrealistic. So I'm sorry, like, why are you, like, people of Viceguard, like, posting, like, heroic? No, it's not heroic. It's unrealistic. They are not fit for the West. They are not Western. They don't have a Western value system. They don't have a Western mind. I know this population very well, very personally. It's not a good fit. It's not gonna work. It's going to be disastrous for Georgia, and they cannot afford it, especially now when the tensions are rising between Turkey and Russia, and the Erdogan is losing his mind, and God knows, like, he's 70, so he has a good time, some time now to just slip into insanity, and he's Georgian, so he might take over. Who's going to defend them? Who's going to defend them? If you want your country to be prosperous, you have to start with yourself. Bring yourself to EU level, and after that you are in EU level, be smart enough to never enter this rotten organization.
Yeah, you're right. In America, we have Slavic immigrants, Ukrainians and Russians, near where I live, and I've worked with a lot of them, and they're maybe it's just an American immigrant thing, but I guess I'm surprised to hear that they're not patriotic, but now that you explain it, it makes sense. But the Ukrainians and the Russians here, like, they're very proud of being, like, Ukrainian or being, like, Russian. They have, like, little clubs and little, like, Slavic pride things that they do, and so it's a little bit surprising, but I'm wondering if maybe it's just because they're in America and they're trying to, like, hold on to something. I don't know.
No, so here's the thing. They love Russian culture. Russian culture is very strong. And it's very rich.
Yes.
And I, like, listen, like, I'm Jewish, okay? I'm not Russian at all. But I grew up with Russian culture. Russian culture and like, how loyal are my parents to Russia? Well, my dad is not Russian, but, like, I can say, like, neither is my, like, not, but the culture is very strong. Culture-wise, it's not the same. Culturally, Russian culture is very strong, and for a good reason. It's very rich. Great.
It's very old. Very old.
It's a very, it's smart. It's sophisticated. It's the level of conversation is way better than it is in Western societies. Like the knowledge, like what is expected, you know, from a person to know, cultural wise, and like cultural references, and like they're smart. It's smart culture.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Russian culture, by the way. Somebody asking, are you talking about Soviet culture or Russian Empire culture? I'm talking about Russian culture. They don't belong neither to the Soviets or to the Empire. Like I said before, like one of the biggest, when the Iron Curtain fell, and the Americans spoke to the Russians, my parents were so disappointed with how stupid Americans are. Like the first impression, like when first TV show, finally we can bring the people together, like to speak, you know, the Russian side and the American side. And their shock was like, damn, the Americans are stupid. They don't know anything. They're uneducated. The level of conversation is the most basic you can have. And those are supposed to be the representative of the United States. Like the disillusion was really, really strong.
I'm sure that's true. Because Americans are so, like, we're young and we don't do a good job as other cultures of, like, passing down, like, Jewish culture is very strong in this way. I think it sounds like Russian culture is very strong in this. Other places are very strong in this, but passing down, like, wisdom, right? we're not good at that. Like we kind of expect every generation to just start from scratch.
Yes, yes,
I don't know why
yes,
we have this
yes.
mindset.
And you throw like this is such a mistake. Like that,
Yes, I agree.
such a mistake.
Yeah, no, I agree. If I ever have kids, it's something that I'm like looking at as like, yeah, I'm just like, no, we need to figure out, like that's the number one thing our country needs to do is we need to figure out how to preserve and pass things down because we don't do that very good. Like we just want to blank sheet like every new baby, and it's like that's not.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
But I guess this is part of American culture, is like this erasure.
I guess. Maybe that's how people have been integrated from so many different places. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I just think it's a stupid way to I don't know. I have a lot of I love my country, but I have critiques. You know,
Ziv is
like
asking,
I'm proud.
so you are talking about cultural illiteracy, and it's not about intelligence necessarily. No, I mean, and also stupid, like also intelligence-wise. Just wanted to make
We
it clear.
don't value. No. It's because we don't value it. I don't think as a culture, we like individuals value it. Like my family valued it.
Yeah.
So there was always like books and stuff in the house. And yeah, my family.
Well, you must be if you follow me. Come on, you guys, those who follow me must be educated and just. Because like, to be honest, like I don't know, like I don't feel it, but I've been, people tell me that a lot, that I'm unintelligible to most people, so.
That's probably true. I don't know.
People telling me so from time to time, you know, like just talking to you is like, people are under a certain IQ like, are not gonna even able to understand what you're saying, so. But I don't feel it's true. I feel like I'm trying to be super like approachable, but sometimes I get these comments. So whether are true is not. I'm sure that if you follow me, you must be smart. So.
Well, thank you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm unusually intelligent, but I also sometimes I notice that people, I'm like, why are you not thinking? And then I try to explain things and they just look at me like a deer in headlights. I don't know if you have that expression in Israel, but like a deer.
We don't have they just deers don't that much here, you know.
Oh, okay. A deer in headlights, a deer will cross a road and it'll see a car coming and it'll just stop and look at the headlights. Like you're going to get hit. Like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. So that's what a deer in headlights, like it doesn't see something obvious that it should avoid, kind of. Anyway, that's what it means. But yeah, that's how people look at me sometimes, and I'm like, okay, I guess I can't see you. But I don't know, Americans, I don't think that they value. Most of them don't value education or learning. They don't care about it.
Yeah.
They, in fact, like devalue it a lot, and I think it's
bad. Maybe because, like, you know, like maybe it's a privilege, you know. Maybe when you don't live in a culture that makes sure that you, no matter how smart and great you are, you're gonna stay dirt poor. Then intelligence is how you value people. Then suddenly, like, intelligence is like hot commodity, right? This is how you know how to evaluate the person in front of you, since everybody is wearing the same coat that is manufactured and brought in in mass. So literally everybody wearing the same thing, and it's like, in America it's easier. You can just see who has the better car and then know who is the best person.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess I hadn't
so
thought
much
about
easier.
That.
Like, why have a conversation trying to assess like how intelligent the person in front of you is if you just can look at their car?
Yeah, that's true. That's probably true. It probably depends a little bit on region too. But yeah, a little bit on area. I don't know. I know that I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and we have higher literacy than other parts of the country, like some of the highest literacy. just statistically. So I don't know if that plays. I don't know, but it's interesting to see because it's clear that like they don't value. I will say though, something I do love about my country, my fellow Americans, I do think that
America
they value,
is a
like,
great country. Like, listen, first of all, like, it's an amazing country. Best location ever. Mwah. 10 out of 10. The founding fathers, like, greatest value system that you can found a country on. It's strong. Like, there is a lot of good to say about America, but you know, like but like it's not fair. Like I can throw shade. Like I can talk about my like Georgian, like say like, you know, things about Georgians, Ukrainian, Russians, Israelis. Like but Americans are like, America must be. Yo, what are you saying? America is the greatest. I'm sorry, you guys are stupid. What can I say? Like the most boring conversation you can have is with Americans. Like amazing how you can talk about nothing for so long. Like I can shoot myself in the head for some time.
I'm sure that's probably true. They don't. Yeah, no, I think that's what. Well, for example, my uncle. I have an uncle, and he was so he hated American a conversation so much that he moved to Italy and has lived there ever since. I don't know. So I don't know.
Wait, Carlos Rodriguez. Wait, Carlos Rodriguez bought me coffee, 4 coffees. Thank you so much. And he said, "Can you scream on my behalf? Where is the support?" Thank you, Carlos. Where is the support? This is not me. This is Carlos. Thank you. Okay, continue. Yes.
Oh yeah. So I don't know. I think that there's just a.
No, I'm sorry. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, it's like, I can. How can I describe?
Like they don't.
Like the conversation Americans can have, like they can talk for an hour about like the most
literally nothing. They can
literally nothing.
Like Kim Kardashian's hair extensions, they will talk about for 3 hours.
Like, and it's every time they sit down with Americans, are like, and the thing is like, if you get like if your, let's say, face like radiates, can we start talking about something real, or I'll start banging my head on the table, kind of face, like then you're rude, and they don't like you. You're rude.
That's true. That's true. You don't. Yeah,
that's probably correct. But like, I'm sorry, I didn't train my stupidity, like my one neuron only. Like, I don't know how to turn off all the rest of the neurons except the one neuron I need for this conversation to be active. I don't have that skill. I was not born into that.
Americans are like golden retrievers. Like, we're so excited. Like, we love people. But, yeah, we're just like, okay, throw us the stick. And that's all we want you to do. It's just throw us the stick. And that's it. You don't require, on average, of course, everybody's an individual. But, yeah, no, it's true. Like, you don't have to have deep conversations with most Americans, probably. I don't know. I haven't been to everywhere in the country, but this is just what I hear from other people, and I'm sure it's true. But I do think it's the thing that we just don't pass down. Like, every new child is supposed to just start again from scratch. Like, I think maybe it has to do with like the hyper-individualism of the United States. Like, it's a good thing, but I think maybe we take that to an extreme sometimes, and maybe that's why we aren't as good at passing things down, because tradition is not as valued in general.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm trying to think, but yeah, it's true. But I will say that I think Americans are very, like, we value hard work. I think that's something.
Yeah.
That if you...
For sure. Americans work hard, like horses.
Yes. And we value people who work hard. Like, Americans would rather be told that they're stupid than be told that they're lazy. Like, if you were going to insult them, they would be more offended if you told them that they were lazy than if you told them that they were stupid. They don't really care if you tell them they're stupid. for the most part. Maybe an individual, but like
I don't know. I
if I
think
was gonna guess
Americans
on
get
average,
offended pretty easily. Like
right? But what would
they
be
like
more
talking shit
offensive?
about all the nations in the world, but they don't like shit being talked about them. Like I think out of
Well,
every
true.
country that I've talked shit about, like the Arabs, for example, a lot of them were like, "Yes, you're correct. Beat us up. This is the only way to handle us." Like this is no, I'm not joking. Like Israelis, like,
Yeah,
oh my god, yes, we're the worst. I don't know how. Like Israelis, especially Israelis, like. Oof. And also because
no, Americans.
the culture diversity is pretty strong in Israel. Like some Israelis are aware about like how loud Israelis are and stuff like that. And like
Yeah,
and then like and the worst part is like every subculture finds like how like everything that's bad in the other subcultures. So if you come and complain about Israelis, every Israeli will be like, "Oh my God, Israelis are the worst." You're right, and they would give you more examples than you had in your pantheon. But like
that's funny.
like Americans, like I feel like they are the most they get the most offended person.
Oh no, it's true. Because I've watched like TikToks of like other people insulting America, and even me, who I feel like I'm better than a lot of Americans, I'm still just like, hmm, how about we just bomb you then? Like I don't say that on comments or anything, but I get mad, irrational about like things other countries will say. I'm like, you've never even been here. Shut up. And it's just they're just taking like saying something or just insulting. I don't know. They'll say something. There's some places that I'll allow to. If they have been here, I'm not as mad. But when people who haven't even been here are insulting America just because we're the empire or because something came out on TV that they didn't like or whatever. Like when the Cleopatra fake documentary thing came out, like a lot of Egyptians were mad at Americans, and I was like, okay, Egypt. Like, I didn't say anything, but I thought a lot of mean things, and they were like not that bad because, yeah, they were just mad about the Cleopatra documentary. But other places, yeah, probably take insults better where we get
I think
mad.
that
I didn't
I
see that
think
you
the only
see
part
it.
that is problematic about it is that once you like, and I actually made it like editing, editing. Like I talked about it in different
Yeah,
like where I feel like because of that mentality, like America is the greatest. If you crack it, they
yeah.
that's the where the problem is. Like you crack it and then they don't know how to stop the cracking. It's like, okay, don't go too far, like just a little bit of criticism, but it doesn't mean you should like go and burn America down. Like that's too far. It's not this or that. It's not like you're either in like perfect or like destruction worthy. Like
Oh, you mean Americans themselves? Like if
yeah,
Americans,
I feel like
like
it.
they either, yeah, they want to. There's this side of us. It's from the okay, so it's from the Puritan roots of the country where there's this side of us that is just prone to extremism. Like and it really is. I think it's just the Puritan roots of it. Like you have to find the source of the germ and then weed it out. And sin is like a virus. That's how Puritans thought. And there's a part of that that hasn't really ever gone away, where we can't. If something's wrong, we have to like purge it. The problem is that people always think of the Puritans as being like in the religious, but I'm like, no, the woke kind of people are the new Puritans. They're treating it like this is a germ that we have to like weed out and purify America, and that's where that kind of comes from. But there's many incarnations of it. The right has been that way too in the past. So
Yeah, I
it's
don't.
just I think that's I
This is just a theory. I
yeah
didn't like dive too much into it. Just to my because like I see it like this, and like it like contradicts the like. It's like there is a middleman, you know, like
no, you're right though. It's a thing that we like
It's like the Bin
really
Laden
exactly
letter. Like, man, you lost it, okay? So America might have not. Maybe they should have not interfered in Iran or whatever, like, or this or there, or Afghanistan, or like should not have like cooperated with the Taliban. But from that to understand, like suddenly, like understanding the perspective that Bin Laden came from, like
Yeah.
no, like, and it's like it's either this or like any the smallest amount of criticism, like how dare you, it is the greatest nation on earth.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
And like
Like
it's,
we
I don't know,
do, and
just what I'm feeling.
yeah, it's a thing where we kind of vacillate, like between it's our sensitivity. Maybe it's like I want to say it's because we're so young, but I don't even think it's because we're so young because like just no, like starting to study more international stuff, like and more recent stuff. I'm like, wait a second, we're older than a lot of countries, but we still think of ourselves as young. Like culturally,
I
I
mean, you
don't think
are
the way
young if you
we are.
erase your memory every time a baby is born. So.
Well, that's true, yeah, and you're not wrong. We do. Well,
I mean,
and
that's
there's
something
been
you
also
described.
yeah, it's true because it's what we do. And every 70 years, we kind of remake the country. Like there's this cycle that scholars have kind of gone through in the
I
United
feel
States,
like
where it's like
America
every
is pretty
70 years.
consistent about the way it is, though.
Um, in some ways, it's consistent. But in other ways, like after World War II, the country kind of reset in a way.
It became more,
Industrially.
but I think it's
Yeah.
like, but it's like a natural progress because America exhausted the stages it was at before that. Like like America moved to the next stage because they found themselves at a place where they exhausted the last stage they were at. So first, like you had the first 13 colonies, and then America became an empire by joining by other colonies joining them, until like America spread into a geographical position that was the ideal, as well as like securing all the resources they need within the country. Then you add in like this industrialization and like rapid growth and technology and things like that, and you had like automatic the assembly lines in the factories. And then at some point it became like faster, and like at some point like it reached a halt where first of all like consumption grew, and then it didn't become cheaper the way it was before when you moved between technology to like from better manufacturing to better like technology to the manufacture. And then America did something where it took it too far, but still what they did is like, okay, at this point the only way to get something cheaper is by enslaving people. We're not going to enslave ourselves, but China is volunteering to enslave its own population for that. So this is when they moved their manufacturing for China. But the thing is like the way they move is like they had to establish themselves as like the empire of the North America. And then like they was industrialization, and then at some point like and at now you need rare metals that I'm not even like that some of them weren't found in the United States yet, even some of it, because with the technology, and then the amount of engineers you need globally is way higher for this, like, so it's more complicated than, it's not something one country could do anyway. So it just progressed. It's kind of this same but different. It's just that the reality changes. It's like every step has a different reality. You cannot have World Wide Web if you don't have the worldwide part.
No, you're not wrong, and I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see what Trump does.
America needs to take back. I get it, the tariff part. America's real competition is, of course, Europe and China somewhat, but America just needs to, like, in modern times, I would say, instead of tariffs, like, ideally educating the population to America first, as in, like, made in America is something that you should always be looking for, as in, like, you know, to come from a place of, hey, you have a choice to buy something from China, but you should get American, even if it's American stuff, even if it's more expensive, because it's the right thing to do. It's like, as Americans. I think this is something that's a good educational program to have. Like, look for American-made products, like support your communities and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I do feel like that's slowly changing. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to the next generation. To see, I do notice that it seems like Gen Z is not. They're looking at different solutions.
The thing with America is because it's spread and it tends to micromanage it. You know, it's like I said, like, why would you get oil from Saudi Arabia when you have oil in the United States? Easy, because those people who go and fetch it from Saudi Arabia, first of all, those who fetch it, they're slaves. So there is so much more room for embezzlement along the way until it reaches the United States, and it's still cheaper because of the slavery you can use along the way.
And they lie. The reason they say that they can't get it from the United States, and the reason why the left will say that, is because a lot of the oil is on, like, protected, quote unquote, Native American land. But
no, but those are excuses. Like, excuses so that they couldn't go and embezzle places.
Yeah, no, I know that. You know that. It's ridiculous. And it makes me mad. I think there are like the useful idiots. Like, I love my mom, but I say this, like, she's like, well, I don't want to take anything away from the Native Americans and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I love you, but you are being retarded right now. Because she genuinely does care about those.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's the power. This is why education is important. Like,
yeah. But then, how do we educate people when we have a population of people who don't value intelligence or education?
To be honest,
that's the tricky. Yeah.
Like, the people who usually say, but what about Native Americans? They don't want this and that.
They don't know. They've never talked to Native Americans. To be honest.
Listen, you can lie. I say, like, oh, actually, I have a friend from there, and they'll be super happy. They're actually fighting for it to come there, and let them go check. Who cares? They lie all the time, so lie too. You can even do the due diligence and actually ask them, and then, you know, perpetuate the actual real data. But the thing is that unless every citizen would take responsibility to educate themselves on a certain, even one thing, so one person who says, hey, we can do it because of Native Americans, like, no, Native Americans are for it. Actually, they want it.
Well, actually, I also have the hot take that I think a lot of Native Americans would want it, and actually...
Just find one who wants to and leech to them. Works great. And that's how you build a narrative. And then other Native Americans are gonna think that this is what Native Americans think, and they're gonna change their mind. Listen, this is how manipulation works. How do you think, like, you sell the woke bullshit? Those are lies. You just leech into one person. You know, just find this one Native American who will be like, oh, I'd be so happy that if people would, like, extract oil from my reserves, like, that would bring so much wealth to us. Oh my God, that would be amazing. Just one person. And then, like, generate a narrative. This is what the other side is doing. For the record.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they create reality. And it is, you know, and you can be a good, genuine person and be like, hey, Native American, it is actually for your benefit. You know?
Joshua, who was waiting for you. He's been waiting for a while. There's a Joshua who was waiting for you.
Didn't look at it. Let me go through a couple of super chats on the meantime, 1 second.
Okay.
the Bronze Age collapse is saying minus 100,000 social credit. Just kidding, love you. All right, thank you so much. And Pagan Games gave 5 memberships. Hello, 5 new members. All right, let me add Joshua to the conversation. Hi, Joshua. I sent an invite. He needs to come. You might have fallen asleep. I was just I let him stand hanging there.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good.
Hello.
All right. It turns out the Native Americans up in like Wyoming, where we were running that oil line, they actually did want that oil line.
You see?
But the chiefs did not like.
You see?
Yeah, but the chieftains did not like that they were getting the same share as everyone else. They wanted a larger share.
So you have
chieftains.
To. Amazing.
So they
amazing.
Started.
God's work. Here, a person came, proved the point, and we didn't even have to work hard. Somebody just came and say, "Hey, this is what's happening." It's the chiefs that believe that they're better than anyone else, and they want to take a bigger share than the other Native Americans. F the chiefs. Viva Native Americans.
Yeah.
Go oil. Okay, continue your story.
Yeah,
I just got excited.
I did that as an honorary official member of Stupid Americans.
Hello, welcome.
And
we appreciate.
The chieftains just called a bunch of perpetually offended white women and got them to do all the protesting until the oil line was shut down.
See, that's what they do.
So no one made any money.
I just get like this one chief. They knew one chief. All the rest of the population wanted it. The 3 chiefs in charge, didn't.
As a white woman, maybe we need to just take a decade of hiatus on letting white women vote or say anything. Maybe the far right is right. Maybe we need a temporary white Sharia or something. I don't know.
I used to say that until I actually heard a Christian Republic guy who actually made that argument, and it scared the shit out of me. I was just saying it as a joke.
Said what?
I was saying that women lose the right to vote. Then I actually
women what?
Say it, and I went, geez.
Should lose the right to vote?
In America, there was a thing, maybe, I don't know, what was it, maybe 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, where people on the right, because we were being painted as these white Nazis, we would just say white Sharia now is a joke, because obviously, but then there was people who said it seriously.
Yeah.
So
they creep me out, man. Obvious federal operation.
That woman shouldn't vote.
Federal operation. Yeah, I said it as a joke.
I mean, okay, so from what I've seen from the voting statistic in the United States, the first ones who shouldn't vote are African Americans, and then Jews should lose their right. What was it? I think African Americans first, right? They should lose their right to vote. And then after that you had Latinos or Jews. I think the Latinos actually performed better than the Jews. Then the Jews should lose their right to vote. Then the Latinos, and then women, and then Latinos, or something like that. Maybe that's
okay. With the Jews, though, it's a little bit tricky.
Why?
As a compromise, only Jews who are married to Goyim. If they're married,
should lose their right to vote.
Yeah, but if they're married to a Jew, usually they vote more conservative and they vote.
By the way, yes, it's true. But this is something that I went and checked because I was like, I cannot believe those are the voting. And then when you actually go and check, Jews who are real Jews, the majority of them vote Republican. And Jews who support, Jews who've been to Israel, it's 50-50, right? Jews who are belong to are actually Jewish, it's more than 50, it's the vast majority of them are Republican. I went and checked Pew Research because I wanted to see who are those Jews, and they're not Jews, they just say they're Jews.
Yeah, what I saw was Reform Jews versus Orthodox Jews.
Yeah.
In reaction to synagogue shootings, the Reform Jews protest and demand that everyone lose their guns, whereas Orthodox Jews go and get guns and training. It's dark.
Yeah.
JPFO, man.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So here's my compromise, Rebecca. So in
So
the period
all
where
the Reformed
Jews
Jews,
like to vote,
Jews who belong to the synagogue of Satan. I like quoting.
yes,
It's like, do you appreciate my reference to the New Testament?
yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It's been a while since I've read the New Testament, to be honest. Like in full, it's been a while. I've read sections or whatever,
You know, I once
but
when AP and David Wood were here, they purchased they got like a copy of the New Testament, like with the old one, with the Bible, and I just opened it randomly, and like the 1st line that I read was like salvation would come from the Jews, and I was like, good book. Random. like this is the real, like, randomly open it, first line that like it was like on the top quarter of the page that I randomly read was and there's like salvation would come from the Jews. And I was like, oh, good book actually, apparently.
see, salvation is coming because.
And then I was like, I should probably go and read properly what the whole thing said, and not like what a chance wanted me to think the book said. Yeah.
It depends on interpretation too. Like, there's ways that you can interpret it as very like anti-Semitic, and then
Why?
there's also ways that are not.
What's anti-Semitic about?
What do you
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
In the book of Matthew,
Hello, Thomas Schmidt.
during the when Pontius Pilate is trying to make up his mind on whether he kills Jesus Barabbas or Jesus Christ, he hands it to the Jews. He says, "Well, what would you rather me do?" And the book actually says this. It literally says this.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying I like the specific sentence that I read. That salvation would come from the Jews.
Oh yeah.
I'm not talking about the whole thing.
Yeah, that in there.
It's there.
Yeah, there is proper anti-Semitic stuff in there, and it's so cartoonish, the anti-Semitism. Like, it's so cartoonish, you can't take it seriously if you actually read the whole book.
Wait, so they say the same thing there, like the salvation would come from the Jews, and then they continue to anti-Semitic rant? What? Am I confused?
Some of it.
I don't remember where I read that part, but I don't know. It's been a while since I actually read the thing. I read it cover to cover.
Bad. We're bad. We're failed Christians who haven't been in the good word for a while, it sounds like.
Yeah, when it comes down to the Bible, really, I just listen to Rabbi Tovia Singer.
Oh, really?
I haven't actually made the jump yet. I don't plan on making the jump. God pays me off in bacon. So.
Yeah, I don't plan on. I'm happy as a Christian, but there's. But I also.
I have to be in that league.
I don't have a particular. I don't believe the Bible is inerrant. I'm okay with people criticizing it. I think we should read other sources, to get a more clear picture. I'm not somebody who thinks like, I don't know. I don't think it's inerrant, I guess, is my take. But yeah, there's sections that are very anti-Semitic. But then salvation it comes by the Jews, so at least there's true things in there too.
I mean, I don't like.
Yeah, there were multiple authors in the New Testament that might have been an actual apostle. That might have been Paul. Who knows?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Is there's only about 7 of those letters that are we know were written by Paul, and then the others are debated. And then the other issue too is that the library at Alexandria, there was other letters there that all are gone, lost, destroyed. So.
Yeah, 3rd Thessalonians. But hey, you can always read like the Gospel of Mary or the Gospel of Judas, Gospel of Thomas, Gospel of Peter. Treat it like fan fiction. It's just goofy side stuff.
I mean,
like the Disney Star Wars.
No, I mean the Judith is. It's not. It's a gospel. It's just a book, no.
There's a book that didn't make it into the New Testament that's called the Gospel of Judas. So
But
it's like an apocryphal.
But it's Christian?
Didn't.
I
No.
don't think I don't think it's Christian. I think it's just a story. It just didn't make the cut. Why? It's a good story, isn't it? I think it's something. I think it's something that. I think if I'm not if I read somewhere, it's like somebody didn't like the Scroll of Esther, so they wanted to have like a similar story, but more conservative. So they created Judith. Hmm. Yeah, story of Esther. Is it not in the wait? Wait! I accidentally unmuted you guys. I'm sorry. Oops.
Oh, was I muted?
No.
Oh. Well, that'll teach me.
We both are.
No,
Oh, we were talking about Esther.
no.
We like
I heard
Esther.
you. People online didn't.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, anyway, we were just talking about Esther and Queen Esther, and she's queen. I don't know. I heard that. Well, do you know Sam? I think Aronow is how you say his name.
Who?
He does like. I think
Airman?
his name is Sam. Aronow. He does like videos of Jewish history. He's like a Jewish. I shouldn't say kid. But he was a kid when he started. He does like animated little videos of going all through all of Jewish history from like the Bronze Age.
I'll look that up.
Yeah, I think it's like Sam. I think it's Aronow. I could be wrong. Aronow. They're like animated, and then he just does voiceovers. I think a lot of people know him, but I think maybe more Americans know him. He just did his like 2024 census or whatever for his channel, and he said the most viewers are Jewish Americans on the West Coast. So I'm like 2/3 of those things. So maybe that's why I know him. But I appreciate your stuff on the Native Americans, though. That's really interesting. That's not really surprising, to be honest.
But you see,
a lot. That's a lot.
but here's the thing. Like this is
here's
what they
the problem.
do. They find this one Native American, right? Cooperate with him. It's not it's because they want to compete embezzling whatever other trade routes, right? Like where the pipeline is longer, so there is more room to take things to their private pockets. It's so easy.
Yeah, and all those people were going to get just like perpetual income from oil money. Oh, and if you've ever been to a reservation, you know how depressing that is. They could really use oil money, man.
I don't know.
It's so.
Aren't they alcoholics?
It's so
alcoholic there.
And drugs,
Yes.
a lot of meth. Yeah, and
it's
super
just-
helpful
and-
people. Yeah. But
And,
yeah, it's
you
really
know,
bummer.
I mean, what do you mean? With oil
And-
money, they can get more drugs? No.
Probably. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. It's interesting because they're half Christian, half pagan, so they have their own internal struggle. Those that are Christian,
Isn't it Christianity what you just described?
Well, that's true.
It's like,
I describe Christianity.
Because like it reminds me, like I brought this before, like the scene from the Godfather, I think, where it's like he talks about Christianity in Europe, and he takes out a pebble out of a fountain, and it's like and he breaks it, and you see how it's dry inside. This is how deep Christianity is in Europe. Just like
I describe Christianity in my brain. The model I have for like Christianity generally, not all Christians, but like Christianity is like, I think of it as like a Jewish father and like a Greek like mother. It's like this hybrid thing. Because it's not Judaism, obviously, but you can still see there's Jewish stuff still in there.
Yeah, if you ask me, there are also Jews who are pagans. So definitely.
I put it this way. I put it this way, that it's like Star Wars. The original trilogy is Judaism. These prequels are the pre-Jewish paganism. And the sequels, the shitty Disney sequels, that's Christianity. With the same level of care and dedication to the story. And that's...
I think my only problem with Christianity is like that it has too much room to fight over visuals.
What do you mean by visuals?
Like the Christianity thing is like is because it's like you have a portrait of God, you can fight of how it's supposed to look like and stuff like that.
yeah.
And it's like what I feel like is Christians like get lost in the visuals, you know, in the visual part, like, and then it's like that's.
Yeah, no, I think that Christianity functions. This is me, and this is why I consider myself a Christian because I believe in Jesus. But this is where I'm a heretic. I'm a heretic because I think that Christianity is best when it kind of lets itself map itself. It's like, I think the best Christianity at its best is taking Jesus' teachings and his, like, in these Jewish teachings, and like kind of letting it map itself to the people and then letting itself be, rather than trying to say, okay, come in like Rome with its like kind of like, no, you have to do things the Roman Christian way. And I think that's where Christianity goes bad. It's like you have to do it this specific way, and then it causes all this fighting that I don't think should be there. I think Christianity should just be more open and fluid. That's my personal opinion, is that it did do really good things. Like so for a long time there was this idea that pagans didn't have human sacrifice in like the Nordic countries or whatever, because that was just anti-Christian propaganda or anti-pagan propaganda from Christians, blah, blah, blah. But then they found remains and they found evidence, and they're like, oh, okay, actually.
So there was
maybe
sacrifice in Europe.
Yeah, yeah.
But in Rome as well?
Oh yeah.
I don't think well, in at sometimes, but I'm talking specifically during the
they used to blame Jews that
like,
they do that, you know, like they would spread lies. Jews having child sacrifices.
Yes.
Welcome.
And that's why people didn't believe it. That's part of why. That's why people didn't believe it, because they're like, okay, well, we know the Jews weren't doing that.
Yeah.
So maybe this is just a stereotype that Rome just puts on everything, and then Christianity picked it up and accused
it's like, who said this beautiful sentence? You know, tell me what you blame the Jews for, and I'll show you what you're guilty of.
No, I don't remember who said it, but it's completely true.
And it's like, okay, so they were sacrificing, so they were claiming that the Jews are doing that.
Yeah, they did human sacrifices at some point, but the Nordic countries specifically, before Christianity came in, like even pagans, like dedicated neo-pagans are like, well, okay, actually Christianity gets a small point in that, because yes, we were sacrificing humans. So it looks like it was like not like a constant thing, but it was like a ritualistic thing that didn't happen periodically. Like, and even child sacrifices they found evidence of. So again, not common, but it did happen, and Christianity put a stop to it. So there were some things that Christians did that were, I think, good, and that's I think Christianity at its best, where it says, look, we're not going to do these certain things. It's bringing the Jewish values through the person of Christ. But then you can have the other festivals are fine. Like in the Nordic countries, it's still got a lot of the pagan elements around Christmas time. It's still very pagan in many of its celebrations.
Who cares? It's pretty.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. It is very
By the
funny.
way, I would like to thank the Jews for making like 8 out of the 12 main Christmas songs.
Really?
True.
Yeah, yeah. Jews did most of the Christmas music for us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Also, thank you for
Yeah,
The
they did it.
Exorcist. We would not have had a satanic panic without Jewish artifacts.
Amazing.
Oh, is that what? Is that? I didn't know that.
Oh
That's
wait,
really funny.
the
Well, they also.
show me what you accuse the Jews
Yeah,
of, and I'll show you
yeah.
what
The
you're guilty of.
Exorcist
Vasily Grossman. Thank you for the quote.
Jews are also responsible for most of our early monster movies, which is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
So most of modern Halloween was invented or adapted by Jews. So
Thank you.
also teddy bears invented by Jews. So thanks
And
for teddy
Barbie.
bears. And Barbie, I just
Oh,
found
yeah.
that out. Although I don't know if I have as much gratitude for that. I think that's caused a lot of anorexia, but that wasn't the intention. So maybe that's not your fault that it caused all the anorexia. Trying
Oh
to
yeah,
look like
game of
Barbie.
superheroes with Superman was made by 2 Jews.
Spider-Man as well.
Captain America. Yeah. Pretty much
Stanley-
everything Stanley
Yeah.
made or was involved in making. Yeah.
Marvel is Jewish.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the other one is
Both
DC,
DC and Marvel,
DC and Marvel. Oh.
Is DC Jewish
Yeah,
as
thank
well,
you
or
again.
just Marvel?
Was it Bob Kane or was it? But yeah. Superman was created by 2 Jewish guys who worked at a newspaper, and the story is they were trying to emulate the Jewish Messiah in story, and that's why he could. That's why they just replaced it with superpowers and such.
Oh, that's interesting. That's really funny.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
It's
That's
funny with
interesting
the
that
X-Men. You know it was written by Jews since they didn't feel shame in the 1960s, 50s, whatever, to write the bad guy as a Jew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like was it
Magento,
Svengali?
Magento is a Jew.
Yeah.
Magneto.
Magneto.
Oh yeah.
Magneto. Yeah, like he went through the Holocaust and everything.
Yeah, one argument is that Professor X and Magneto both represent old-timey first-generation Israelis and how they'd handle things. Another argument is that it represents Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr.
I wonder who wrote Magneto.
Interesting.
If it was a guy, I'd be like, this anti-Semite. If it was a Jew, I'd be like, can't expect much of these people.
The first Exorcist
Leonard.
movie was directed by a Jewish guy, and that really launched off the Satanic Panic literature, where you'd have like Angel Heart and Skeleton Key and True Detective. Yeah. He played a big part in making one of America's finest schools of American literature. One of the most entertaining schools of American literature. Eyes Wide Shut. I think Kubrick was Jewish.
Who was?
I don't know. It's been a while since I looked up his. Stanley Kubrick, the guy who did Eyes Wide Shut and Full Metal Jacket and 2001: A Space Odyssey and other stuff.
You know all the movies. I don't know all the movies or anything. I just know the old-timey stuff that Jews did. See, this is why Hollywood movies have gone downhill, though. There's not enough Jews in them. See, there was
Yeah.
Jews
Because of Hollywood So White. Remember that? Hashtag Hollywood So
Yeah.
White. And they ended up chasing all the whites out of Hollywood. It was actually Jewish writers. We ended up losing all our quality writers, man.
Yeah, I heard like the Jews are not welcome in Hollywood anymore, and you can tell Hollywood sucks. Like there are no Jews anymore. Like they kicked out all of them, right?
Yeah. Outside of Gal Gadot, but that's for a reason.
I mean, Gal Gadot, she just signed a contract before they had the wits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she actually lost a job or two, but she's also a smelly hippie, so
I mean, she's not.
Is she?
she might still have that
She's
job.
just not very smart. But to be honest, like
Imagine
the one,
there's no
the one time
country.
I tried to make fun of her. I found out I was the fool. So, like,
Why?
because I was like and I did it with several people because she gave an interview and she talked about the city she's from, Rosh Hashanah. So somebody asked her like, what does it mean? So she translated it, and she was like, she translated it like wrong, like and I was like, I can't believe she doesn't know how, like, what it means, like the name of the city, what it means. And every time I mentioned that, like, to say haha how stupid she is, she doesn't know like what the meaning of this name is, people just stared at me blankly. Apparently I was the fool one because I was the weird one for knowing. And the norm is to not know what it means. So
Oh, that's funny.
yeah.
I
can't believe her. She doesn't know what the city she comes from, like what the name means, and like apparently like nobody knows. I was weird because I knew, but because I tested it several times, I was like, okay, maybe my sister is stupid. I know my mom might be not be smart. This friend might be stupid. Like after testing it like several times, I was like, okay, maybe the problem was me. Like she was normal for not knowing, and I was like making fun of her for being stupid, and apparently like that's the norm. I'm just weird.
Yeah, I was talking about the Imagine thing, where she and a bunch of other Hollywood dorks started singing this stupid song.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that
So
right.
that's what I was
Yeah.
talking
that
about.
was cringe. And that Imagine is like one of the songs when I was little, I thought it was great, and then I grew up and I was like, oh, this song is shitty. It's actually pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like the lyrics are like,
I'm so glad.
I was like, I don't want to imagine
I'm
that
so
world.
glad
It
I
sounds
was.
awful.
Bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really bad. It's pretty, but I mean, it sounds pretty. Like I think that's why people like it, but it's just like ridiculous child music propaganda. It's just propaganda. That's all it is.
It's like there is no right. It's like, okay, imagine there was no human nature and everything would be fine. Like what?
Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, no, and it's just this very like I don't know. People just think the world is. I think here's what I think happened. This is my take. I think that Christianity went so far into the like original sin idea of like born with original sin that there was like an overcorrection where everybody's just born naturally good. And I think that's what happened in America is like it was like an over step to the other direction where now everybody like Americans just don't understand that the rest of the world is not full of just nice golden retrievers. Like that's not most of the world. And
You
so they
know,
think everybody
just
is
let your kids go to the southern part of Chicago from time to time. That would do the trick. I was
yeah,
not,
although
I was not allowed to go there.
To the south side of Chicago?
I mean, I think it's the southern part. Like, there was some festival I wanted to go to, and my uncle or parents, I don't know, like my uncle looked at the map and was like, "You're not going to that area." Nuh-uh, girl.
Yeah.
I will never know
That's a good
now
reason.
what was there. And the festival looked really
I would
fun.
have told you to avoid Chicago entirely, but
Right now for sure.
I
I did like a
Continue on route.
some places are okay. I've heard from people in Chicago. It just depends on where you are, but the south side is no good.
yeah. So it is the south side. Like
Yeah,
the like if you have to cross the river, I think, or something.
I don't know the geography because I'm on the other side of the country, but I just know that like
I've never
nobody,
been.
yeah, south side is like
Like I think Chicago is
it's like
the most western part I've been to. Maybe Maybe Wisconsin is the western part. Western, yeah, western.
Yeah,
What do you
that's
mean by
west of
western?
Chicago. And the westernmost
Okay.
she's been, right?
What?
That's the westest. That's the most west you've been in the United States. Where have you been in the United States? Like, how many places have you been in the U.S.?
Wait 1 second. I need to answer something. Where have I been? What did you ask?
Yeah, where have you been in the United States? Like, what states or cities have you visited?
Just like New York, Boston, like Massachusetts.
Oh.
Went to Wisconsin,
Yeah.
Florida, like, and Chicago, like Illinois, Georgia, and Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, at least you got to see Georgia and Tennessee.
I mean, that's
Lovely
pretty.
country out there.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
It's very green. And
I really want to
my
see
most
Tennessee.
exciting part is when I saw a whole family of hillbillies that were lacking teeth. I thought they
Was
were.
that exciting?
Yeah, because I didn't believe they existed. Like, I thought it was something people say that don't really exist. But then I saw a family of them. I was like, this were baby, no teeth. Mom with no teeth, grandpa no teeth, dad no teeth, like they all had no teeth, and I was like, whoa, those are people are really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Mountain
was
Dew
like
and
so
math. Mountain
excited
Dew and math.
because I thought they were I thought it was made up, so that they didn't exist, and then I saw them. I was like, oh my god! And it's like, and the funny part is like people in Georgia and Tennessee like they reacted the same way to me. I was like, oh my god, a Jew, you know? I was like, mutual.
Well,
I mean, it wasn't mutual. Most
True,
of
they
them
don't-
weren't
we don't have
hillbillies, and
many
like
out
all
there.
of them were just country people that looked normal. But like hillbillies, like those ones, like
Yeah.
they like a whole family without teeth. I was like, oh my god, I thought I didn't believe they existed, right? Because I saw like on Nickelodeon, you know, you had Amanda Bynes and stuff like that. They like would make an impression, and like, okay, these people are not real. Like they don't like, you know it. And then I saw whole family, I was like so excited. That's the most exciting part, no doubt. And it's fun. It's, you know,
By the
you
way,
like
is
travel to those
Bamba
areas.
actually worth buying?
Bamba, yeah, 100%.
All right. Well, swell. I remember that.
But I also like the South because
They deliver using Amazon, so yeah.
Oh, cool. You should get Beasley too.
Well, you need to go to the western side of the country at some point.
Yeah, I need
Yeah,
to.
Sequoia
it's
National
very-
Park, Yosemite. Oh, Yosemite. Oh,
The
there's
Oregon
beautiful
coast
parts of
is
California.
beautiful.
Oh, the 101 in Washington. Oh, that's
Yeah.
where they shot Twilight. Absolutely beautiful. And also
Yeah,
San
it's beautiful.
Diego. You
There's a
have to make it to
rainforest.
San Diego.
Okay, in Washington State, there's a rainforest too. We have like a
In Washington,
rainforest?
I've been to Vancouver.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
So yes, you know. Yeah, you know. You've been to. I'm like maybe an hour from there. So.
Yeah, it's really close, right? Seattle to Vancouver. It's very close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's close. It's in fact, there's like some. Okay, so there's different maps you can make of the United States. And there's some people, and I agree with them that I don't know how you feel about this, Joshua, but that probably some of the states need to be reorganized to be more reflective of
Yes.
the population.
Yes. Oh, I wish. Oh, I voted for California to break up into different parts.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the west coast of California from San Francisco all the way down to San Diego, exact same culture, exact same people, exact same kind of scumbags. They vote the same way. They're all progressive. And you just go 50 miles inland, and you hit cowboy country. It's entirely different.
Oh.
That's where I
and the
live,
same
out
thing
in
is-
cowboy country.
The same thing is in Washington and Oregon. So it's basically there's this mountain range called the Cascades, And west
Yeah,
of the Cascades is where I am. It's totally different, and part of it is literally just climate because we have in the West Coast, in the Pacific Northwest, we have a Mediterranean weather patterns, and
Wait, in the Pacific Northwest?
yeah, it's Mediterranean. The climate, I've done research. It's the climate is, this is where I get nerdy. The climate is Mediterranean rainfall patterns with oceanic temperatures. So you have, I kind of think of it as Scotland and Israel having a baby. It's got kind of dry, hot summers, with some rainfall here or there, maybe in the northern parts where I am, but it's mostly just cool and warm and dry. And so what happens is people just basically don't leave. Like vacation for me is going to the Oregon coast. I'm on vacation. We don't typically, like, it's a thing that's kind of well known, is we don't really leave the Pacific Northwest. And so you have this cultural subgroup from Northern California, basically up through Vancouver, where it's very much the same culture on the west side. But on
Greater
the
Idaho,
side,
I wish you guys win that one.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then,
Alright, you guys, I'm so sorry. It's like almost midnight here. I'm gonna go.
No, that's good.
We burn through all the time.
Good night, everybody. Here, I'm gonna.
Good night.